The land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. Y'all already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's the 50-50 Show. I'm watching this Warriors game, man, and it's looking rough.
Chill Ray comment just came through.
Oh, man, Warriors going to blow another big lead. Man, please, say it ain't so, man. But look, man, hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. It's the 50-50 Show. So make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. We gonna have a lot to talk about, man. Hey, the draft is around the corner. The Warriors are like Chill Ray just said right now. It's crazy game, man. I don't know any my Warrior fans out there, man. I feel for y'all, man, right now. But it's still a game. It's still a game. Still a game. But that being said, man, we're gonna talk about a few things that happened over the last. Last time we went live was last Thursday. I mean, from the Aiden O'Connell trade rumors, the beat writer pretty much suggesting that Aiden O'Connell will be traded during draft night, which we'll get into. But Derek Carr, shoulder injury. The impact of that, and we'll talk about that and more about that too as well. Like, it's a crazy situation. And then obviously Jaylen Ramsey, that report, Ian Rappaport today was able to we were able to find out that the Dolphins are open to trade Jaylen Ramsey, which, is it a fit? We'll talk about that, man. Like, is it a fit for the Raiders? Is it something that they would be interested in doing, especially because, hey, look, man, we lost 2 starters on defense. I mean, on starting corners, I should say, in Nate Hobbs and obviously Jack Jones. So we'll get into that. But before we even get into that, man, salute to everybody pulling up, man. The night crew in the building. We see y'all, man. Chill Ray in the building. Speaking to you, man. So we says, what up, Raider Nation, man? My God, man. And he's a Warrior fan, man. Hey, man, I gotta give him a wrench just because of that. He a Warrior fan, man. I appreciate that, man. We got Daryl Azion in the building. Yeah, I know, man. We running late. I understand. My bad. But we're here. Louis Garcia, night crew, clocking in. What up, fellas? Balling on Jalen or what? He always wanted to be a Raider. That's true. You know, it is true to a certain extent. I think if you want to go all the way back to Mike Mayock, he talked about that. I know, like, not recently, but he was in a podcast talking about how, like, Jaylen Ramsey was available and they were ready to make that deal. And for whatever reason, it fell through. And obviously he went to the Rams. But we'll get into that conversation. Is it too late for that? Are we still in on the Jaylen Ramsey? I mean, years later. Rosetown native, man, 707, man. Appreciate you coming through. Says salute to the nation. My God, man, appreciate you coming through. Raider 331. My God, man. Because it simply just says, yee. Man, he might be a Bay Area native, man. We got to give you. Man. And we got Bizila, man. We about to find out if Mark Davis is willing to drop the cash it takes to compete and win. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's suggesting maybe Jaylen Ramsey would be a move that Mark Davis would have to co-sign, and we'll see, man. We'll see. Definitely see. Raiders allegiance.
My guy
Lunatic in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. If you haven't already, make sure to head over to his channel, man. He's a Raider content creator, putting in work. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man. Head over and support my guy, man. Appreciate you coming through. Man, every time I hear this theme music, Louis, man, you on one right now. Armando Guzman, man, says Raiders for life, man. I gotta salute you real quick, man.
Salute to my guy Armando.
Armando in the building. Believe no one, nation. Kevin Lurker. Yeah, man, it is that time. It's still that time. It's been that time. Smoke season.
Yeah.
You know, so we won't really know what's going to happen until draft day, draft weekend. And that's pretty much coming up. I mean, it's literally, a little over a week away? So, a week away, I guess, because, you know, next, a little over
Thursday.
a week. Thursday of next week,
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Coach says, you like the NBA? I mean, yeah, I grew up watching the NBA for sure, but I'm not as an avid, you know, watcher of the game like that as I once was, but, you know, I still I got love for basketball for sure, especially the playoffs, you know, when it's a little more competitive, they play a little harder, you know?
Yeah.
You know how that goes?
Yeah. It's hard for me to watch throughout the week. I'll be doing so much other stuff, but anytime I catch a game, I'll make sure I watch it.
I know, man. It's a different game nowadays, man. It's like everybody's either shooting threes or it's a layup. That in between game, there's a few players that are talented enough. Like I know you always talk about the guy from OKC who has like
SGA. Yeah, that's my dog.
He has
that's
like the whole he has that whole package. Is that, you know, mid range, back to the basket. You know, it's a really skilled player, but it felt like the NBA totality, the way they play, it just feels like, I don't know, man. It just no one's trying to post up. No one's trying to. It's either you shoot a three or it's a layup. There's no in between. But you know, that's a whole different conversation.
That's analytics.
Yeah. And, hey, you probably could say the Warriors. Hold up, what's going on with Steph? Is he serious?
Y'all were just up 3. When I checked it last, I don't know what happened. What's up now?
Okay. Whew. He was on the bench like something happened. All right. His shooting hand. Damn, that's all bad, man. Hopefully. All right, man. Now let's Egalitarian says I am a Golden State Warriors fan. Man, my God. You know what, man? Hey, look.
Egalitarian?
We just gonna give you that. Hey, man, we got we got a few Warrior fans in the building, man. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. We got a lot of people pulling up. Gerard Post says, "What's happening, Raider fan, man? Appreciate you coming through." AJ Simpson obviously pulled up. You know, he's a Warrior fan. You know, we gotta salute him. Jolie says Kings in 8. Kings not even in playoffs, but I guess he's trying to be funny, man. But man, but yeah, man, let's not waste any time, man. Let's just get into it. Obviously, we'll start with the biggest news of the day. And I think today, Jaylen Ramsey obviously was reported that he was going to, the Dolphins are going to be looking to trade him. Is that a guy severe that you feel like would fit with the Raiders are looking for at this stage of his career? I know he fulfills that cornerback spot that we need, but he is hitting 30 and he's making almost 30 a year. I mean, like if you look at his cap hit, I think with the Dolphins, he holds like what, at least $25 million cap hit a year. Is that something that the Raiders should look into, or what would it take for you to be like, okay, it makes sense?
So it depends on what the Raiders are trying to do. If it's truly like they think they have a chance to win now, yeah, I wouldn't mind that, because it might take a third round pick, to get him. Especially considering that I think his contract was 25.5, but the Dolphins already paid $4 million in a roster bonus, so his number is like 21.5. So that's, for a top tier corner, that's not a bad number. He is 30. He will be 31 this season. Obviously, you would hope that he has like a Charles Woodson type career where you can kind of move him around. Maybe you start moving him to safety, moving him different places, and that way you have like a guy with him at corner, then Jeremy Chin and Isaiah Palomao. You got some pieces that you can like do some different things with. So if you're in a win now mode, hey, by all means, push all the chips in the middle of the table, swing for the fences, go after a guy like Jaylen Ramsey. If you're not in win now situation, maybe that third round pick is more valuable to you than a 31-year-old corner.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm not giving no premium draft picks, and I consider a third round pick kind of right there, close to the premium. Like the premium draft picks, that would be the first and second, and low key, I'm kind of throwing in that third too, because you can get a starter.
Yeah, third is a starter. I expect the third round pick to be a starter.
You can get a starter on a cheap contract too, as well. He is on the other side of 30, but he is a great player, talented player. So, can he have the longevity to play a little longer? I think he's under contract until 2028, I believe.
I think so.
So that's about 3 years. So the Raiders will have to take on that contract. I don't know, man. If they were even to be aggressive enough to make that deal, it would have to be like for like a 6. We got 3 6-round picks. I'll throw that 6 in there. I'm sorry, man. I want to give him my draft picks, man. Because look, you can't.
Mac Jones got traded for a 6.
I know, and I know, and I know I'm being cheap about it, but it's like, come on, the Raiders, I feel like have been on the fence of wanting to win now and also trying to look toward the future.
Yeah.
I'm like, just commit to whatever you're trying to do. If you're gonna reload, then let all your moves reflect that. But all their moves haven't reflect that. They've kind of tried to play everything smart. They're playing the long game. They're valuing their draft picks. They got a bridge quarterback in Geno Smith, who, from what we're seeing and everything, just looking at that contract, it kind of still has them in play to get a young QB. Like you hear Spytek, he wants to build through the draft. So it's like, all right, if that's the case, if you're going to rebuild that way, which is totally fine by me. If you look at all the great teams, they've all kind of done it that way at some point in order to get to that, that contender spot of a team. But then that's fine. I just feel like they got to stick to that. And for them to stick to that wouldn't be trading for like a 31-year-old cornerback, paying him $25 million a year or 20-something a year. I know it was like you said that it's manageable, but like you would give up a third-round pick for Jaylen Ramsey?
Me personally, like I've already been saying, I don't think the Raiders are in a position to win now. They shouldn't be making moves with the intention to win now if it's going to sacrifice their ability to win later. I've been saying that. It's part of the reason why I had issues with the Pete Carroll hire, where it's like, okay, we're not a contender right now, and where we'll be in 3 years when he's probably, teaching full time at USC, right? Like, what are we going to be at that point? So I think all of our things should be laying the groundwork and setting this team up to grow together and win in the future. So, is Jaylen Ramsey going to be a valuable piece of that future in 2 or 3 years? I don't know, right? If it was a situation where he was moving to safety, I'd have a lot more confidence in that. So, but it's like, does he play corner this year and then we let Jeremy Chin walk, and then Jaylen Ramsey, he transitions to a safety role? Okay, maybe you can interest me in that, right? But a third-round pick, that is a steep price to pay, especially in this draft class where there is going to be a wide range of starters at various positions available in those middle rounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's tempting though. It is tempting, but we've seen it all the time. Like, we've done moves like this before, and they never work out because we're not complete of a team to be aggressive like that, and also we're trying to rebuild for the future. So when you make a move like that, yeah, we have a talented player, but it doesn't amount to anything because we have so many different holes on the team. Like, for example, we had Devontae Adams, arguably the best receiver in the game when we got him. But what did it do on the win-loss column? It didn't do nothing because you just look at the team, it was flawed. Whether it's the offensive line, man, it's so many different things. I'm watching this game too at the same time. I'm gonna keep real with y'all. But yeah, but Sacktown Raider Mike wants to remind you, man, make sure Clyde can hit the likes and sub on both channels. Oh my God, man, hey man, he knows what to do, man. Pharaoh, the Warriors started that. What you mean? Pharaoh, the
I'm talking about the whole 3-point shooting stuff. I mean, technically,
yeah,
Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's true. I mean, you talking about
Mike D'Antoni. Yeah.
Oh yeah. D'Antoni
was Mike D'Antoni.
With
but
Steve Nash.
The Warriors winning that way, that's what changed the league. Like, the Warriors winning it.
And like Steph just dominating the game by shooting a three ball, and then you add in Klay Thompson, and then the way they pass the basketball, and then how they play that positionless, basketball kind of just took over. It's just like, oh, man, yeah, you can make a point. It is what it is. But maybe that changes because, maybe there's gonna be a team that comes in that's gonna bring that old school basketball where you have that big, and they're gonna go on their run to championship because no one can match up with them. Who knows? I mean, I think Sixers are trying to do that, but what Embiid can't even.
Yeah, they tried. They tried.
Yeah,
I guess the closest will be the Nuggets. The Nuggets did it with Jokic, but even then, it was Jokic, and they had a whole bunch of people around them that can kind of shoot. So, it's that's kind of gonna be that's the way to lead. You got to be able to shoot. Just for spacing purposes and the analytics.
That's the crazy thing where everybody can shoot. Every position can shoot, like from the 5 to the 1. It's wild, man. Okay, Coach, you watch basketball. All right, okay. If Rose never got hurt and won a championship back in 2010, I think the league would have looked a lot different. I'm a believer in this.
But they wasn't winning no championship.
Yeah, they wouldn't beat the Warriors though, bro. In 2010,
they was
you talking about you talking about 2010? Didn't the Lakers win the championship in 2010? Yeah, the Lakers won.
Ooh.
I think that was Kobe against the Celtics. The Lakers and Celtics.
Maybe.
Or my
maybe 2010.
Yeah. So 3 straight years the Lakers went to the finals. They went in 2008. It was that first year with Paul Gasol. They lost against the Celtics.
Oh yeah.
Second 2009 was the Magic. Yeah. 2010 was the
Magic, and then they got the revenge against the
Yeah. Rose, talented player, but not that year though. Not that year. I don't know about that, but
he wasn't about to be Kobe. He was about to be Kobe.
Nah, man. Nah, not yet. How much? Man, Loon, you taking it all the way back. Antoine Jameson. You said that's the old school. One of the worst teams in the NBA. Warriors, man, with Antoine Jameson on the team.
Yeah. Hey, Antoine Jameson was a dog though, man.
But he just was one of those, like, a good player on a bad team. Get their numbers up.
Yeah.
Like we seen what happened when Kevin Love left the Timberwolves. Like, what I mean? We seen what happened when Chris Bosh left. Chris Bosh might have been a situation where he played with LeBron. Nah, he had to take a step back.
He sacrificed. He sacrificed.
Yeah, he sacrificed, but
he sacrificed definitely.
Yeah.
He sacrificed because he could have been getting buckets still. What's crazy is that Anton Jameson got traded. Like, him and Vince Carter got traded for each other. And they played on North Carolina together, and they got traded for each other.
Damn. That's
on draft day, I want to say, yeah.
For Vince Carter, too. I don't know about that. That would have been, man, if we had Vince Carter in the bay, that would have been crazy.
People forget how cold Anton Jameson was. Anton Jameson was a dog.
He was, but he wasn't Vince Carter, though. Vince Carter was better. He was more talented.
Carter was better, but Vince Carter was also like the excitement aspect of it, where he was like dunking on people. He had like splash plays. That's not Anton Jameson. He's like boring.
Yeah, but also, like, the Warriors were terrible. Yeah. Like, he was just one of, like I said, like, good player on a bad team. But if you put him on like an actually solid team, like, you could see where he would fit in as far as his role. Maybe a good bench player, or a scorer off the bench, or maybe like when he was with the Wizards, with Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
What
you still cooking though. You was still cooking. It was still cooking.
Man. I don't know, man. Hey, man, I know you play for the Warriors, man, but I just gotta be honest. Space Beast says Ramsey would be a great free safety.
Yeah, he played safety in college. He played safety at Florida State. I mean, when he was coming to the league, there was speculation on what position he would play, whether it be safety or corner. He obviously ended up playing corner, but there was some speculation about what he would play. Some people didn't. Some people.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Some people didn't think he could play corner.
No, that's a good point. I mean, now when you think about it from that perspective, now you could add more years to his career a little bit. Like, I mean, we all know, like, if we got Raider fans in here that were following a team back in 2002. Man, we remember Rod Woodson came to the Raiders at, like, what was he, like 38, 36? No. He was like 35, 36.
Yeah, I'll say maybe like, more around there. Yeah.
35, 36 in 2002 when he had like 8 interceptions that year, so it's like.
Yeah.
And then
Rod Woodson did it.
Charles Woodson did it. Charles Woodson was older.
Deion did it.
Deion was safety?
With the Ravens, he played safety.
Oh, they moved him to safety. Oh, like, Deion was like what? He was 30, he was late 30s?
Yeah.
Late 30s, yeah.
He came out of retirement. He tried to come out of retirement and play for us, but I think I had to go to waivers, and teams already said if you try to do it, we're gonna claim him before he gets to you guys in the waiver wire. So don't even do it. So that's why it didn't happen. But he wanted to come play for us.
Fourth round pick. Next year's 4th round pick, not this year's.
Next year, they gonna laugh you out the.
Well, Space B started it. He said not a 3rd, 6, maybe next year's 3rd. Jolie says I'm cool off Ramsey. Could Chin play nickel? Yeah, he can, but I don't like when they like
spots. Full time that well.
Exactly. Like when they be saying certain players can play nickel, people think that they'll play it full time. They can play it full time. Like, nah, they do it in certain situations, but they don't do it. Like, you actually have to have a nickel corner. Gotta have a guy, that can cover at that nickel spot. I don't think we have.
Isaiah Palomar did it for us last year.
Did he with like long periods of time? I know. No,
I'm saying he played in spot.
Yeah, in spots. Yeah. Because I know he played safety. He played free safety when and they had more closer to the line of scrimmage, and Morrig kind of looked better at strong safety.
Yeah. Facts. Way more comfortable.
Let's see. Torque says Dolphins 100% trading up for Travis Hunter is what I get from this.
Possibly. Yeah, but Jaylen Ramsey low-key asked for a trade too, though. So it was like a mutual thing where Jaylen Ramsey wanted out. The Dolphins like, cool, trading him. And he said he wanted to go. I think he said he wanted to go to a contender though. So okay.
You can cross out the Raiders. Let's see. We won't commit to a future to 2-3 years. I know, right? No, it's facts. We won't. Stokes and Richardson's our projects right now. Well, Stokes, just needs to stay healthy. Richardson is kind of like, we still don't know what we have, really. He's kind of like one of those guys like that got to come into training camp and compete and see what happens. But we don't know what we have in Richardson. I mean, how do you feel about DeCamerion Richardson at corner? Do you think that he's going to just be more of a depth guy, or is there something? Does he have some type of potential to start at any point in his career?
Yeah, he's a project. I mean, he got cooked last year. I mean, it's
right.
Especially the way Quentin Johnson did him. I mean, you don't have a whole bunch of faith, but he has the traits. He has the size you want in the corner. He definitely has the speed. He has, I think if I recall correctly, he has some long arms as well. He played in the SEC, so played against some good competition. I think he finished the year pretty strong his last year in college. So
yeah,
he could conceivably turn into a starter, but he is still a project. I think last year before he got hurt, there were rumblings out of camp that he was playing pretty well. He was putting together some good practices. But how much stock can you really put in that? Maybe not much, because we heard the same about Tommy Eichenberg and Dylan Labe, and neither one of them done a damn thing. So, it is what it is at this point. You just kind of wait and see. But the tools are there. And
I agree, man. I agree with this. Draft a cornerback and let Carroll develop. He's done a pretty good job. I mean, since with the Seahawks,
yeah.
And he's a former defensive coordinator, secondary coach. So he has an eye for talent for that position. He was part of drafting Earl Thomas and building the Legion of Boom. He might be like, you know what? Let's just keep our draft picks. Spytek is probably feel this. Spytek is quoted to say this, that he's real cheap. He doesn't want to he values his draft picks. So I think it gotta be a favorable trade for the Raiders as far as draft picks. It gotta no higher than a 4th round pick. 3rd is a little too rich, but we'll see. I know. I think I'm behind in the chat right now. I think Warriors might have took care of business already. Let's see. They're up 4. 40-something seconds ago. Yes.
They're up 3 with 36 seconds.
Oh damn. Okay.
He's at 3 a whole lot different than 4, huh? At 3 a little bit different than 4.
One possession game right there, so they gotta play defense.
Well, damn. Scottie Pippen Jr. missed a free throw, so that's what. It's Warriors ball though, so if they up 3 with 36 seconds left, it's y'all ball. So y'all do nothing stupid, y'all might squeak up out of there with a win.
I think, yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2011. Yeah,
2011 what?
He's talking about earlier when he was talking about the Bulls.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
probably 2011.
He wasn't winning 2011 either. My bad say.
Maybe, yeah, probably. But I never looked at him as like a great player though. Good player.
Derrick Rose.
Antoine Jameson.
Yeah, he was a really good player. He was a really good player. I wouldn't consider him a great player either.
Yeah, he's a good player. Not a great player. Great player, man. The Warriors would have would have at least tried to gotten close to compete to playoffs when he was with them.
Y'all was trash though. It was no.
It was bad.
Y'all was mega trash.
It was bad, man. But like, if you have a great player, man, it makes a difference. It makes a difference, bro.
Trash,
yeah, man. I'm behind in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to click and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's move it along, man. So another newsworthy thing that happened recently was finding out that Derek Carr. Basically, he might have to get shoulder surgery, which he can possibly miss the season. I don't know. They're just still deciding what they might do. That he might need surgery, he might not. So it puts his season in doubt, which is interesting because the Saints, they pick at like number 9. So do they kind of prioritize quarterback? They probably already did, but now like they really need to get a quarterback to at least like maybe not have a wasted season. Get somebody over there that they can develop and see if they have something there, like a Shedeur Sanders. Now, do you see this impacting the Raiders in any way? Does this make the Raiders number 6 pick even more valuable? Because let's say if Shedeur is dropping and he's there at number 6. The Saints come calling. Do you think that's going to be an easy trade down candidate right there?
I think that's a spot where you'd have to look at for them. That's why I think the Raiders, I don't know what they've really been doing, but they should be doing a lot more to try to show interest in Shedeur. Because if you really want to trade down, obviously the Saints are a team that right now, if the rumors are true that the whatever shoulder stuff that Carr is going through could potentially put him out the entire season or a large chunk of that season, you got a rookie head coach in there. I'm sure he doesn't want to come in like losing immediately with some uncertainty at the quarterback position. Kind of best situation for him is that hey, my first year here, I get to hand pick my own guy. So I think that would be ideal for them right there. So if the Raiders could gen up enough interest to get them to move up to 6, I think that's an ideal situation. Them to move up for Shedeur or the Bears to move up for Genty, right? Either one of those teams move up. I would be perfectly happy with trading back with either one of those teams. And I think the Bears have 2 seconds, right? If we recall correctly, the Bears have 2 second-round picks.
We were doing a mock. Yeah, they had 2 second-round picks. So that actually would be a great trade-down candidate just because they're still in top 10. I think they picked number 10. And on top of that, they got another second-round pick. And the second-round pick is not bad at all. Like, I think both are like kind of like early. So yeah. I mean, it's good. I feel like it's good for the Raiders. However way it shakes out, I think the Raiders, the best possible situation for them is to trade down. Like they have to trade down. I mean, they don't have to, but I just feel like the way their team is set up right now, the lack of depth at certain areas, certain positions that need answering, linebacker, corner. Wide receiver, some of us still want to grab a young QB, but we gotta have some we gotta have the draft picks, and we gotta have those draft picks, man. They're valuable. So I feel like, but from what I've seen though, doing the mocks, we easily get the second round picks in return, but I've seen like people trying to do trade downs with the Raiders, and they don't get a second round pick back. It's more like a third round pick, the highest. And I'm like, I mean, I like it, but I'm still kind of like, I kind of like getting the second round pick. If the Raiders are dropping from 6 to 9, Is it possible to get that second?
See, that's the thing.
It's still quite close.
That's the thing. If it's for a quarterback,
yeah,
and that's why you have to make sure that there is legitimate interest in the team feels there's a potential for not necessarily even for you, but you got to make sure that that they feel that another team can come up and get the quarterback, because that anytime you move up and trade up for a quarterback, that automatically makes the trade more like the draft pick more valuable, because it is a quarterback. And if you want that team to move up, because you want them to move up with you, so that's why it's kind of difficult. You don't want them to try to jump in front of you because you think they're going to they think you're going to take the guy. You want them to think other people have real interest in them too, and that you could take them, but you're hey, you have your eyes other places as well, so you're open for a trade back. So but yeah, if it's for a quarterback, I don't see why you wouldn't get a second round pick.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but like last year, I mean, it's kind of not the same type of situation, but I think wasn't there a team? I don't know if it was the Broncos or the Vikings. They moved up one spot, and it was for a quarterback, and I think they only got I don't know if they even got a third back. They might have got like a fourth round pick.
Was it Broncos? I think the Broncos trade up, or was it the Broncos, or was it the Vikings?
It might have been the Vikings.
For JJ?
Vikings for JJ McCarthy. I gotta look into that.
That's one spot though.
It's one spot, but you could look at the compensation and see all right, how much was it? All right, okay, it was for a later round pick. Then if that's the case, then 3 spots. That's pretty close.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. I'm trying to see what was the trade, the details of the trade.
Yeah, let me know in the chat, man. Everybody coming through, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Appreciate everybody coming through. Yeah, let me know in the chat.
So the Vikings traded 11, 129, and 157 for 10 and 203.
So 129. So that's a fourth rounder, I think.
Yeah, fourth rounder.
And then what was the other one? What was the other pick?
157. 157. So that's probably a fourth rounder too. That's fourth rounder too, because you think about comp picks, it's still a fourth rounder. I'm assuming. Maybe a fifth. Maybe a fifth. Nah, we'll go. Maybe a fifth. If it's a fifth, it's early fifth. But because you think about comp picks, yeah, probably fifth.
Yeah, I see people talking about the Ramsey. You know what? Not if he wants to go to a contender, I don't know if the Raiders would be that team right now. If he's trying to win right now and be on a contender, I don't think the Raiders are a contender right now. So yeah. I'm not sure if we would be a fit. That's the other part of it too. Does he even want to come here? He has in the past, yeah, when he was younger and wanting a fresh start, going from the Jaguars, and he wanted to come to possibly play for the Raiders and play under Gruden, but it's a completely different team. He's different part, he's a little older, probably doesn't have a lot of time to waste. He just wants to go to a team that's ready to win now. And I'm not sure who that would be. That would be interesting. Man, it could be a few teams, but I'm just saying, what team would who needs a corner, maybe possible safety? Hopefully it's not the Chiefs. Hopefully it's not the Broncos. Hopefully it's not the Chargers. I don't want to see Jaylen Ramsey on none of those teams.
I could see the Chiefs. Honestly, I could see the Chiefs. That would be tragic. Yeah. The Eagles got rid of Slay. Did they pick up another corner? I know they got rid of Darius Slay. Did they pick up another corner?
Let me look at Eagles free agency.
The Bills. I think they got rid of Tre'Davious White. I don't know if they have another corner there. I'm trying to think of some other contenders.
You trying to see if the Eagles had picked up anybody?
Yeah, I know they got rid of Darius Slade. Did they pick up another corner?
Knowing the Eagles, man, they always got moves up their sleeves. Oh, this one, I like this pickup though, but they picked up Aziz Al-Jari. I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, from the Giants.
Yeah, like he has the talent. He just got to stay healthy, and now he goes to like a already loaded, pass rush. They did not pick Adoree Jackson. They picked up Adoree Jackson, but I don't know. That's not a mover. Not a needle mover.
Yeah. They ain't stopping me from getting Jalen.
Oh, they picked up Harrison Bryant. Oh shit. Josh Uche. AJ Dillon.
Okay.
Signed. Yeah.
So nobody of importance, basically.
Right. I mean, they could. That's like an Eagles move too. Like they're like super aggressive, like because they know they're in like that Super Bowl window, so they know that it's the time to be aggressive. But yeah, let's see here, man. But going back to the Carr situation, man, I think it's a blessing in disguise, man. Like that thank you, Derek Carr, man. Yeah. Whatever's going on over there, and we'll get into what's going on in a little bit, but for right now, man, like I think for the Raiders, I think it's a big time move, or it's a big time. It's a big situation for them to just have that happen. Now they have an opportunity to possibly have a trade down partner. I'm trying to force his way. Yeah. We'll get into that. We'll get into that, man, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Lake Show Raider says, "Why are we talking about trading down? That would be the dumbest decision ever. We are not the Steelers or Patriots." What do you mean?
Because Lake Show likes Shedeur Sanders, so he wants us to stick there. He does not like Geno Smith. Either he really likes Shedeur Sanders or he really does not like Geno Smith, because he's always trashing Geno, and he's like, "Oh, we need to pick Shedeur Sanders." Which,
he feels like Shedeur is the franchise guy that we missing.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. We'll see. I think Shedeur officially met with the Raiders this week, or he's planning on if he hasn't already. So
he met with them. I think yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday, I know. To wrap up, I think he had one last visit with the Giants, which is interesting. The Giants are taking one last good look at Shedeur Sanders, so he could be possibly taking at number 3. Because we talked about it before. Like, there's a lot of pressure on that front office and the coach to win. They're like on a hot seat next year, so I'm sure they're like, "Hey, we need to get some." The Daniel Jones experiment is done. Like, we got to figure something out.
Facts. I think ownership. I think ownership might be pushing that as well, because this is like that time of the year. Owners get itchy.
Right. Jolie says, "I think the only way we can trade back is if Shedeur falls. Not enough players at 6 that team will want to trade up for. Maybe Genty. Quarterback is easy. Quarterback. Yeah. That's why like." The Derek Carr situation has me thinking like, oh, okay, there's a chance. Just because like if Shedeur is possibly there, then you could see a team like maybe the Saints be like, you know what, let's go ahead and grab our guy.
Yeah. Everybody was telling me Genty is generational. He's the next Barry Sanders. Why wouldn't the team want to move up for the next Barry Sanders, right? They want us to take him at 6. Well, some people want us to take him at 6. And some people are like, "There's nobody at 6 anybody will want."
Well, their argument is like he's one of the few blue chip players in the draft. Let's not overthink it and take basically best player available. They're like, let's get a great player and not trade down and get a lesser player, even though it's at a different position of need or whatever the case may be. I understand that, but like, man, I feel like I've been having this conversation a lot lately as far as like the value of the running back position and like how you build a football team. Just look at the best teams in the NFL. Look at the teams like the Eagles, where they literally spend most of their draft picks on premium positions. You know, like, you know, D-line, O-line, wide receiver, corner, you know, positions like that. Because if you think about it from a financial perspective, like if you compare how much a top 10 pick makes on a cheap deal to the top 10 player, let's say if you look at the top 10 player getting paid at that position, like a corner, like a wide receiver, the difference is huge. So wide receivers making a top 10 player is making like what, almost $30 million a year.
Exactly.
And if you take a wide receiver,
$30 million a year, we see. Or if top 10, believe.
Yeah, top 10.
You see what Jamar just got. You see what T. Higgins just got.
Yeah, top 10. But Jamar Chase probably, like, you know, he reset the market with his deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, and if you get a player at that position in the top 10, they're literally the difference between that player, what that player makes, and a top 10 player at that position is like huge, man. Like that's like 24 million right there, at least 24 million. If we're talking about wide receiver, but like a running back, I think top 10, I think it's 12 and a half million a year.
Yeah.
And a top 10 pick makes $6 million a year. So the difference ain't really that big. So it's like, it's chess, man, not checkers, man.
Exactly.
That's all it is, man.
Nah, it's facts.
G's Raider says we have 9 picks. We can build depth without trading down. We earned that high pick, and we should use it to pick a player.
Or we can leverage that high pick to move back, still pick a player, and be able to get more good players in a very deep draft.
Right.
See how that works?
Oh, man. I think that's probably the biggest controversy right now. It's like the biggest talking point is taking Genty early. That's like the biggest.
I'm out on that.
Raider Zach, we're not getting a second, dropping 2 to 4 spots in my opinion. Yeah, like it mock drafts is easier to do, but then like when you see like people kind of like actually looking at the value, just look at the path. Like just for example, like even moving up one spot, you would think like, all right, I mean, even though it's one spot, it's still in the top 10, it's still quarterback on the board, but they didn't get like necessarily a second or even a third. They got like what, a 4th and 5th?
Yeah.
Would y'all trade back
still,
to
in this draft class, 4th and a 5th, you get a starting running back in the 4th round in this draft class.
Yeah.
A good starting running back in this draft class.
True. Yeah. I would, yeah, man. Like if that was the only deal on the table, and that's like, you got to take the best deal. Take the best deal,
Depends on how much you like. At that point, it depends on how much you like Genty and whoever you think will be available at 9 or 10.
Yeah. Chill Ray says, would y'all trade back to pick 21? Maybe Pittsburgh is desperate for Sanders and wants to jump the Saints. Also, A-Rod's still unsigned and wants to go to the Vikings instead of the Steelers. Yeah, that whole situation is weird, man. I think Aaron Rodgers might be done.
Yeah, that was.
It's like
I almost made that flag on the play.
Like, I mean, I understand. Like, Aaron Rodgers is an all-time great, but he's up there in age, and like, he's kind of holding the Steelers hostage. At this point, Steelers are kind of like they're preparing for the worst. Yeah. They're going to be looking at all their options. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation. Yeah, I mean, maybe Pittsburgh trades up, but pick 21. That means they got to give us a first round pick next year, right? Yeah, you're trading up for a quarterback for pick 21.
Yeah, you
next year
for 21. Yeah, you about to give us. You got to give us.
Bang.
Man, you got to give us. Yeah, you got to give us a bunch, bro. You got to give us a bunch.
Right.
A bunch. You got to trade us Mike Tomlin.
Nah, for real. He gonna be our defensive coordinator with Pete Carroll.
Man,
Linebacker coach.
Pete Carroll.
He's gonna be like assistant. He's gonna be a linebacker coach, assistant head coach, and then like Pete Carroll's gonna retire next year, and then Tomlin's out like, all right.
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll gonna turn into Dick LeBeau. Let him be defensive coordinator. let him go ahead and teach them part-time classes at USC and let him do his thing.
I'm not glad, man. Pete Carroll does look old, man. I don't know. No one's really talking about it. I know everybody's trying to be nice, but he is looking. He's looking old, man. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm telling. I don't want to be negative. Man. So I'm trying to be positive.
Bro, look.
Let's not get into that.
It's looking wicked, bro.
It's looking crazy. But hey,
I thought he had more energy than all of us. That's what people told me. It's
right.
Bro, I ain't getting into that.
No, it's just that, man, he's looking old, and then it's just like anything could happen after the season, like where he could just be like, man, my doctors told me that I need to take a step back. Like,
exactly.
That's realistic. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, it wouldn't be surprising if I heard like Pete Carroll said, like, man, I had to talk to my family, and we did have a good season, a solid season, but I can see that happening because he's in his mid-70s, but people don't want to have that conversation, so we're not going to talk about it.
Have that conversation, bro.
They don't want to talk about it, but yeah, man. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. AOC was also rumored. I mean, pretty much Raiders beat writer Vic Tafur kind of implied that Raiders will be looking to trade AOC, possibly during draft night. How you feel about that? Do you think it would be a good move to give up a quarterback when we don't really have anybody outside of Geno, or you like the move? Just it's a guy that we know what we have in him, and it's a different regime, and we need to get someone else in there to develop.
Yeah, it depends on what we get for him. You kind of know what you have in Aiden. If you plan on taking a quarterback, maybe you plan on taking a quarterback in the first 3-4 rounds, then maybe that makes a lot of sense. Whereas, like, you know what, let's get him out of the way, start to development on this young guy. But if you don't plan on taking a quarterback in this class, then you know what you have in Aiden O'Connell, right? It's a very flawed quarterback, but a quarterback that has played NFL games, has won actual NFL games, and at least you very familiar with his skill set, with his personality. You know his limitations. You could work around those limitations. So rather than trying to get a guy in free agency or something like that. But if you plan on taking a quarterback, a project guy, like maybe I think we're visiting with Tyler Shuck soon. We just visited with Shador. That would have to be much earlier. I think we visited with Jackson Dart as well. So if you have your eyes on those guys, maybe that makes the most sense to get Aiden up out of there, get what you can for him. Probably wouldn't be anything of much value, maybe a sixth. And you kind of cut your losses.
But then wouldn't you say, like, would you keep 3 quarterbacks? You feel like that would be a smart move to keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster? I mean, just to see, because the quarterback position is so important, or is it case by case depending on the team and where they're at? Like, if it's a really good team, yeah, you want to keep quarterbacks just because if anything happened, you don't want your season to be over because you don't have another option to go to.
Yeah, it all depends on what you feel about that other quarterback, because now with the emergency quarterback, you can have a guy in your practice squad and he can just be designated as your you can have a guy designated as that emergency quarterback, right? And you can kind of move him up and down from the practice squad depending on the need. Most teams if they had their druthers, they'd only carry two on the 53, and they'll have another guy on the practice squad. So, the roster spots are valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, facts, 100%. It's tough too because, like, you got to think about offensive line, you got to think about other position groups where you need as much. And that's the crazy thing. Do you think this is a random question, but like, you think they'll ever increase that number?
To the roster spots?
Yeah, like, do you think they'll ever increase that number? Because like the NFL, like players get injured left and right, man. Like it's the NFL is just.
I think they will increase that number, but I think it will only be once. And I said once because they're going to do it once they go to 18. Once they go to 18-game season, I think they'll increase the roster. How much they'll increase it, I don't know, but I think once they go to 18 games, I think they'll slightly increase it.
Barry Sanders was 5'8".
Yeah, but Barry Sanders is.
I think someone in the chat was like, how many running backs 5'8"?
Running backs are drafted in the top 10.
Drafted in the top 10.
Yeah, Barry Sanders is an alien though. Like,
yeah,
people be trying to compare what Ashton Genty did to Barry Sanders, and it's not even close. It's not even.
How tall is the running back from the Saints?
Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, I know he wasn't drafted in the first.
He was drafted in the 3rd round out of Tennessee. Yeah, 3rd round, I believe. Yeah, 3rd round. He's not small though. No, he's not small though. He's
not
like
small?
5'10", like 5. Yeah,
5'10"?
Alvin Kamara's not small. Yeah, Alvin Kamara's not. Yeah, Alvin Kamara's not small at all.
He looks small. I don't know why his build look. Okay, let me see. He's
5'10". He's 5'10".
He's 5'10". Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara's not. He's not no little dude.
Damn, 5'8".
And he's drafted in the 3rd
like
round.
He's 5'8". Is he not 5'9", or did he come in 5'8"? I'm talking about Genty.
Genty, I think it was 5'8". I don't know. Either way, I think it was 5'8", but I don't know. No, he didn't let nobody do anything I don't think he got measured or anything at the combine.
Why do they compare him to LaDainian Tomlinson? Like, I don't like, what is it? The contact balance? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't know. People would just be reaching. They see a player they like and they want to compare him to the best players but he's
LaDainian Tomlinson, 5'10". These are like my favorite running backs. LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk.
He's a different kind of player than those guys.
Adrian Peterson was 6'1". He was a monster.
He's a different player than those guys.
Who? Ashton Genty?
Yeah, I think you had a good comparison for him. Who you said MJD, right?
Yeah, MJD.
Yeah, MJD. I think that's a good pair. But MJD said, what did he say? MJD said he ran 4.3.
He ran a 4.3.
He let him know.
Yeah,
I ran 4.3, bro. He's faster. And I think Ashton Genty has better contact balance, and I think he has better vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, MJD got more juice.
Yeah, man. You can't tell me. Let's see, man. The chat is going crazy. I'm trying to catch up.
Everything I see on Genty says he's 5'8". I don't know if he was standing on his tippy toes and somebody else measured him. But everything I said says he's 5'8".
Donnie says Zamir going to the Jags. Alex says Zamir about to get traded for bar food and a case of beer.
Don't do Dante like that. Don't do Dante like that at all.
Man.
Yeah, he's 5'8". He's 5'8". 5'8", 211. Yeah, it's pretty.
Damn.
Pretty.
He is small, but hey, there's always gonna be exceptions to the rule, bro. So
he's good. He'll be a good player. He's gonna be a good player. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be generational.
Genty?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. He measured 5'8" at the combine. For anybody who's wondering. So that's the official measurement. So ESPN might have them different. CBS's college team might have him listed as something different, but at the combine he measured at 5'8".
Yeah, PFF says 5'9". Yeah, I 5'9" was what I thought it was, but at combine they measured him. The combine's the combine, so they measured him at. You said 5'8", Severe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, let's move it along, man. let's move along. I think. Another just random news. Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Max Crosby was made an assistant GM for his college, which was kind of like I did not expect that to happen at all. Like that was so random to hear.
Yeah.
But he's one of the few like active players who are assistant GMs. I think I've seen Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry is also an assistant GM. There's a few other players.
Davidson.
Yeah, for Davidson. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Man. What were your initial thoughts when you heard about that?
Oh no, bro! It's just this team is just it's unserious stuff to me, man. Like I don't know, bro. It's just I don't know. It's just unserious stuff to me, man. But hey, these guys have other businesses and other stuff that they do, so I can't get.
It's strategic though. I think it's strategic, man. If you got like
it's a long play for him.
But I think, don't you think it might be strategic for the school to have Max Crosby as assistant GM? Maybe you have like you can bring in players who want to basically, you know, have a relationship with Max Crosby, you know, build with them and like, you know, learn from an NFL great.
Possibly. But I mean, how much they gonna really be learning? Like, because the seasons match up at the same time, so it's like,
no, man, it's just so
like
so
Max
random.
Crosby could be there, like doing through pass rush drills with you, like you, bro, and you know,
He's gonna be there to take pictures and be like, hey,
exactly. He might be
I gotta
there
go
at the
though.
recruiting pit, you know, you know, the alumni, maybe, you know, it's to get more to squeeze more money out of alumni and stuff like that. But other than that, man, you know, all college football is very transactional, man. It's very transactional. So
Yeah.
it's kids not kids ain't going to East like, oh, I'm going to Eastern Michigan because I love Max Crosby. Like kids are going to go where they think they can either get paid the most NIL or where they think they can get noticed and get drafted. Like those are the two factors. Like where they can get paid or where they noticed. If you ain't getting paid or noticed at Eastern Michigan, it's just not happening.
So earlier I said Crosby kind of joins, you know, active players or just athletes in general returning to college and being either assistant GM or actual GM. From Steph Curry being assistant GM for the Davidson basketball program. Trae Young also has the same title for Oklahoma basketball.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's what I'm saying.
His Hawks
I don't think
teammate
it's serious,
Terrence Mann also has the same situation going on with Florida State. And Andrew Luck, who's not currently playing, but he's Stanford's general manager. Yeah.
He's their full-time general manager or assistant?
Yeah, football program's general manager. I mean, I'm sure he's doing that. I could believe Andrew Luck is actually
doing work.
Yeah, just because he's not playing anymore. You know, he's not playing football anymore. So like I can see that. But all the other guys, it's just a name.
I don't believe. Yeah, exactly. I don't believe any of it. That's why I'm just like. That's why I can't get mad at it. It's like, all right, whatever, bro. He's. You know, it's good for him. It's great for him to he loves Eastern Michigan. Obviously, you know, he has the tattoo with the E. You know, it's the school that helped him. It helped turn him to the guy he is right today, right to an NFL player. You know, he kind of built his foundation there. So it's good for him to give back to school. School kind of he put the school on the map. You know, his name having, hey, we got Max Crosby as our alumni. It's good for the school as well, but. Like I said, I don't know how serious it is.
Well, what they're saying is that he's going to help them scout basically players, you know, help identify players that the school should probably, you know, go after and recruit and stuff like that. So, but that's that's a full-time job in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
Like,
maybe he calls up like, hey,
hey,
I got a guy
make him
here.
a scout. They'll make him a scout. They'll make him assistant GM. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's just not. It's just not serious. Like, if you want to scout players, like, just make him a scout then.
I'm telling you, like the colleges, they're benefiting by they're gonna use like the player's name. Like, oh, we got Steph Curry, GM at Davidson, like Max Crosby's assistant GM. Like, I feel like they're gonna use that. Because what's the benefit? What's the benefit of them, bringing them on? There has to be a benefit, and the benefit I think has something to do with the name.
Just have that association. Just that association.
Cachet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty
just that association, man. It's all transactional, man. Like I said, it's all transactional.
Right, man. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate everybody coming through. Marty Marsh says, I think Max doing too much. If he had a bad season, that'll be blamed. That is not his focus. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna lose focus, but I think he's just, like we just said right now, I think it's just a title.
Yeah,
for the most part, it's just not.
He's assistant GM in name.
Yeah, he's not going on the road for Eastern Michigan to look at some, high school player in Wisconsin or something like that. Like
he'd be like,
he's not gonna do that, man.
It's not like Pete Carroll being a part-time professor at USC. So
yeah, he might he might have conversations with the guys in the building that are recruiting players, and he'd be like, hey, he might, hey, what do you think about this player? And he'd be like, oh man, he might have some input. Yeah. I think that way, but I don't think he's gonna actually be going out there and doing a whole lot of work for them.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, it's a name only.
East Coast Gridiron says Andrew Luck was responsible for the firing of Troy Taylor.
Oh, that's the guy that just got up out of there.
Oh, okay. Did Andrew Luck how long has he held that position?
I'm not sure.
Was this his first year doing it? He's just trying to.
But Stanford ain't gonna be Stanford ain't gonna. Yeah. They ain't gonna be the same.
So I gotta give respect to Jim Harbaugh. I mean, like, he made that program for like 1 year or two. They were pretty solid.
Solid. David Shaw did a good job there too. They fell completely off the map.
So was Dave Shaw? I think Dave Shaw was after Jim Harbaugh.
Dave Shaw was after. Yeah, he's after.
Didn't David Shaw get hired as a offensive coordinator or OC or QB coach from one of the NFL teams? Let me see. David Shaw, I think, got hired this.
He got hired. I don't remember for who though. Was it for a pro team or was it for a college team? Was it for a pro team? I remember he got hired. I don't remember for who though.
He got hired as a passing game coordinator for the Lions.
Okay, that's smooth.
Yeah.
That's smooth.
That's
crazy because like they were like a super run heavy team when he was. He was at Stanford. They were like super run heavy because they had. I think he had Christian. I think he had Christian McCaffrey. He had the other running back. I think the last name was Love. He was cold too.
Mm-hmm. Did he have David Montgomery? Was it Montgomery?
No, David Montgomery was Iowa State. David Montgomery was Iowa State.
Didn't he have a Montgomery on the team? I feel like he had a Stanford.
David Montgomery's Iowa State. He came out the same year. What's the guy that was with the Texans? Because he was FAU, Florida Atlantic. I forgot. They were all the same draft classes as Josh Jacobs.
Let's see, wide receiver. Was he wide receiver or running back?
It's Ty Montgomery? No,
Ty Montgomery. Yeah. I got it all messed up. Yeah, it was Ty Montgomery. Never mind. Oh. Never mind. Lions hired. Yep, exactly, man. Ty Montgomery. Yep. All right, man. Salute to the chat, man. Y'all know y'all stuff, man. But let's move it along, man. We got flag on the play, man. Y'all already know what time it is.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
So this week's flag on the play was something that we talked about earlier was, pretty much Derek Carr kind of was the news came out that Derek Carr possibly needed shoulder injury, but now the word on the street, and if everybody's talking about it right now, is that this injury might have been made up. People are questioning if it's real or not. So if this is true, if it's made up, we got to get flag on play on Derek Carr, man. What's going on, man? Just demand a trade, man. You don't got to make up stuff.
Yes.
Like I don't know if he wants to be super nice. He cares about how it would look if he demands a trade. I don't know what it is, but some people are saying that Derek Carr's team put out the news that he needed shoulder surgery possibly right before the draft to maybe put pressure on the Saints to possibly trade him.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely I put a flag. If this is true, I'm gonna put a flag on Derek Carr, man, because I feel like he should have just came out and just wanted to trade. Why would he do it in this way? I mean, maybe you could speak to that, Severe.
So first off, even if let's say it's not made up, right? Let's say you think Pastor Carr, who has his own church, you think he would not tell a lie. He has too much integrity to do that. Then it's still flag on the play, because how long have you known about your shoulder being hurt? You couldn't have possibly just found out. And if you've known your shoulder's been hurt, why release that news now? Like, why would you do this right now when you know that the team has obviously been hell bent on drafting the quarterback? It's been been reported on that for a little while now, that they're going to draft a quarterback. When has really been the only question. So why release that right now? Like it's only to the detriment of the team that you're with. So it's just a bad look. And if it is because there's been rumors before that Derek Carr was saying to the team, or letting the Saints know that, he doesn't want to be a bridge quarterback. He'd rather be traded. And now you have this news that comes out that all of a sudden, a week and a half before the draft, Derek Carr could have a potentially potentially season-ending shoulder injury right before the draft. Like, bro, like the math ain't mathing, bro. So you was just asking for a trade not that long ago, and you didn't get your way, and now all of a sudden you got a shoulder injury that could keep you out of that could potentially keep you out of the 2025 season.
It's confirmed that he did demand a trade to begin the offseason with the Saints.
See? So he demanded a trade to begin the offseason, and your shoulder was fine. And now you have an injury that could potentially keep you out the 2025 season. But let's just say you get because you have to pass a physical if you go to your next team, right? So you could potentially not pass a physical, especially if that injury wasn't disclosed. Then the trade falls apart. But let's just say, he goes to another doctor, and miraculously he gets a second opinion, and it wasn't as bad as we thought it was. He's on minor rehab. He'll be out through training camp, right? It's not looking good, man. It's looking pretty disgusting, man. From the Carr camp, from I heard about it. The Carr. I heard they're on social media doing some shady stuff, or they one of the members of the family posted Derek Carr stats and posted Kellen Moore stats. It was like, how is this guy gonna coach tell Derek Carr how to play quarterback? Like, just wild stuff like that, bro. It's like, it's not looking good over there, man. It's not looking good. And you know what? I would say this: I'm glad we washed our hands of it.
Yeah, you know what? I just think that, damn, that's crazy. He demanded a trade to begin the offseason. He didn't get his way. And then he just finding a way. I think it was the other day I was on with Rundown and my guy. And what did Rundown tell me? That he was like, literally, he was in like Paris, totally fine, and in vacation, and all of a sudden you just hear the news that he possibly need a shoulder surgery, which is crazy, because it's like, man, like, I think you would want to be out of the spotlight if something's crazy like that happened, but or you would need something like that to happen, but it is what it is. Look,
Look,
I
look,
think
and what's
I think at
crazy-
the end of the
crazy
day,
is that,
it's
look-
going to benefit the Raiders. I think at the end of the day,
Oh,
I feel like it could benefit the Raiders.
yeah, and look, and the camp, the Saints started camp, and from what I'm hearing, Derek Carr didn't report, but on the day that the Saints started camp, Derek Carr released like a video, like a car video of him like test driving and like doing donuts in some car, like just like crazy, like terrible optics, like terrible stuff to do when you don't report to camp and you release a video of you like driving fast and doing donuts and stuff in some car, like even if it was pre-recorded, like it's just not a good look. It's not a good look. That relationship, I don't think it's mendable. I think they're going to have to trade him. They're going to have to get rid of him.
Yeah. And my guy Jay Rader, man. Jay Rader Rundown. Make sure to check him out every Saturday mornings, man. Check me out on there. I was there on Saturday. We talked about the Derek Carr situation. It's like we all were like, this is way too. We knew there was something wrong. There was something going on between the Saints just because it was so late in the offseason. Even if you didn't know that Derek Carr didn't demand a trade to begin the offseason, for him to announce it like right before the draft is like terrible timing. This is something that you would know right when the season ended. You know what I mean? This is something that you would find out. Like, you're telling me that, he didn't throw a football for like what? How many months?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
3 months, bro. I was like, come on, man.
Exactly. But hey, like you said, man, hey, Derek Carr, he's not with the Raiders, he's with the Saints. The reason why we're bringing him up because it's a flag on a play if this is all true. Whole lot of drama. But how it could benefit the Raiders got to trade down a partner. The Saints might be desperate enough to trade up to number 6 if Shedeur Sanders is on the board. Some people want the Raiders to draft Shedeur. I'm kind of in the boat where, I feel like the best case scenario is the Raiders trade down, get some more picks, build up the depth on this roster. We can get some good value if we're able to get if we get able to get a second rounder, throw in another mid-round pick. I'm good with that. Because now that I think about it, look, you know what? A team like the Saints would be like, you know what? We got a second round for you, and that'd be good enough. But would you want another pick? I mean, in our mock drafts, we're able to get some more picks outside of a second rounder.
They give us a second round pick. Oh, bro, I'm taking that, bro.
I'll be on the phone. Like, yeah, I want to get like a third. Like, no. Yeah, I'll take the second. I'm just playing with you.
Bro, I'm taking that second in a heart, bro. I'm taking that second in a heartbeat. Oh my goodness, because that alleviates. I know when we were talking offline, we're like, man, like we have so many needs and there's so many good players like at the top of that second round. It's like, you kind of like, you don't know which direction you want to go because, like, man, you want this guy, but dang, you really like this guy too. Well, dang, now you can get both of them potentially, right? If you like Travion, I can get Travion, and I can get, Darian Porter, or if there's another corner you like in the second round, right? Possibly Benjamin Morrison or somebody like that. That you can get both of those guys now because you got those 2 picks. So.
Yeah, man.
Or Tyleek, my dog Tyleek Williams.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Hey, we got to trade down, man. I feel like we trade down that the possibilities are endless. But man, shout out to my dog, man, Raider Smoke 89 with the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the show as always, man.
Over there celebrating the Warriors win. I'm sure he's celebrating the Dubs winning.
Hey, man, I wouldn't be surprised. He said under the weather, but got to tune in, like and subscribe, 50-50. Love the hat for. Hey, man, I appreciate it, my guy. Big win tonight. Draft coming up. Hey, man, it's gonna be big, man. So hopefully you get well soon. I know you celebrating that win for sure, that Warrior win. So it's gonna be big. Yeah, man, it's gonna be big, man. The Rockets. How you feel about that series, Rockets and Warriors, man?
Literally the only advantage the Warriors have is experience. Other than that, they gonna get a mud hole stomped in them, bro. If they just gotta rely on that experience, bro. Other than because Thompson is a dog. Jalen Green is a dog. Man, oh boy, what's the center's name? Dang, I forget his name. Sengun, dog. Like
yeah, that right there is probably gonna be the Warriors downfall too.
Van Vliet, dog.
They don't. The Warriors don't have a big. They're kind of small. So
yeah, small. They got Trace Jackson Davis, but he's young.
Yeah, but it's gonna be tough in that playoffs. Is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see, man. Who do you think is gonna come out the West? I know you're a Laker fan, so don't be biased. Don't be saying that. I don't want to hear. Be realistic.
I mean,
realistic.
OKC.
Okay. Out the East.
Boston probably. Unfortunately, I hate the Celtics with Boston probably. Boston or Cleveland.
Oh, okay. I'm Cleveland. That's Cleveland without LeBron. That's wild, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But yeah, man. If you haven't already, make sure to click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate everybody coming through. We're going live on both our channels. My guy, Raider Smoke, once again, man. Appreciate you supporting the show as always. Let's move it along, man. Let's go to notable quotables. Severe, if you want to give the intro to the first notable quotable.
So the first notable quotable is you guys might know him as the assistant general manager for Eastern Michigan, but he's also an NFL player. He plays for the Raiders. His name is Max Crosby. He was giving a little he was talking about like input that NFL players have when it comes to drafting.
But before we even play the clip, we do have to give a we forgot to mention this. I guess it was it's a flag on a play, but I guess we'll give it a like
the retro flag on the play because
we're
not talking
even
about
the retro. We'll save the retro. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna be bringing out retro flags on the play. Caleb Williams recently he talked about this past season, and he had a quote that was interesting. He says, "I'll be honest with you. I never lost this much. When I got home, I got in my bed, and I just dropped tears."
Oh man.
That is the franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears, man. That was, I won't say noteworthy comment, but like definitely I feel like it's a flag on a play, man. Come on, man. Bro. If he was a Raider quarterback, do you think he would be probably the most hated Raider quarterback?
Oh, bro. They will be cooking this dude, bro. They will be cooking this dude. Oh, my goodness. They will be cooking this dude. That's why I was telling people, bro, I told people, man. I said early on, bro.
He's talented, but man.
Talented. But that's why, look, I said it wasn't about the talent. I said it wasn't about the talent. It has nothing to do with his talent. His talent he has so much talent, he may be able to come everything else. But I said just his mentality, salute to my guy Smoke, just his mentality, his mental makeup. And then the fact that he never really had to play in structure with Lincoln Riley, whether it's at OU or USC. I mean, I say it was QB3 behind Penix and behind Jaden Daniels. And people didn't listen. Yeah, he used to cry at SC games, bro. He was trying to laugh at Max Duggan when Max Duggan lost in the national championship game. He was crying when Washington beat him. I think he cried when another team beat him. Like it's just nasty work. It's just nasty.
Reese Rock, man. Oh yeah, man. Hey, this should be a public service announcement too, as well. Reese Rock says, "I'll send another flag on a play next time JD Ohio representative drops the college trophy." Oh, I seen that. I actually seen that today. We'll save that. We'll save that. But I guess it'll be a public service announcement to everybody that's watching, anybody that supports the show, that like watching the show, flag on the play, all that good stuff. If you find any flag on the play worthy moments, video, whatever the case may be, it might be a quote. Send it to us, either me or Severe, thanks. Either on X or on IG, and we'll throw it in the hat, and we'll try to we'll include it on the show, and obviously we'll give you a shout out as well, if we decide that it'll be on the show, and we'll shout you out. We appreciate the support. So if you find anything flag on the play worthy, we'll definitely try to include it on the show if you just send it to either me or Severe on X or IG. But yeah, man, that one, damn. Did you see that, Severe?
Yeah, I think it's not. They said Ohio representative. I'm pretty sure that was like the vice president. Is the JD Vance, the vice president?
Yeah. But let's get back to notable quotable. You're giving us the intro to the notable quotable. I think it was Max Crosby, right?
Yeah, Max Crosby, assistant general manager for Eastern Michigan. Max Crosby. He was just talking about just players having input, and he told a particular story about a player that he tried to push the Raiders to draft. He didn't get specific, but I think you can kind of guess who he was referring to.
Right.
Here's my question. You ever felt strongly enough about a player? Would you ever walk into the offices and say, hey, guys, I love this guy. Like, could you give this guy a look? Would you ever do that? Have you ever done that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's happened a few times. I'll say a few years ago, there's a specific player that I'm not going to name that I was hell-bent on getting. And let's just say I was right. and I'm still mad. Still mad about it. But that's just kind of how it goes. I feel like when it comes down to it, like, I'm all in on winning. You know what I mean? I'm all in on the Raiders. I want to find out who would be the best fit. So I do my research and I truly watch the film.
I want to give them whatever information you think can be of any sort of help.
100%. And that goes both ways. I'll sit there and question the offensive coordinators and ask them about these certain quarterbacks and things like that. And yeah, there's definitely guys, but like, especially with D-line coaches, like, I know D-line play and I've been playing D-line my whole life. So it's that specific. Like, there's certain guys every year where I'm like, we got to get this dude. And
you know what? If I were a GM, which I'm not, I would give each of my players a homework assignment. I would say, give me, at your position, the guy that you like. Give me a couple of guys that you love in this draft that you feel like have a real chance. I'd want to hear what they'd have to say.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And every GM is different. I've had a few. Some of them are very like, this is our plan. Like, sat in the room with me. This is our plan. This is what we're going to do here. This is what we want to do here. Blah, 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 blah. Some are a little bit more, guarded. A little bit more guarded. They don't want to, have anything leak or anything like that. But yeah, it's interesting. I feel like as a player, it's one thing, when you want, yeah, we should get this quarterback, things like that. But when it comes down to like your true position, like, there's nobody that knows that better than the guys who play it at the highest level. Like, you can go ask Pat Mahomes and he would tell you, boom, 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 these are the best quarterbacks right now. You know what I mean? But obviously it doesn't go public, but I'm very much like, I try to just help the team and be an asset in that way, especially with our D-line coach. Like, me and Robbie sit and watch film of everybody. And even in free agency, we sit there and watch every single player and kind of just, feed off each other. It's cool.
Yeah, I just think that there's something that players could contribute. And again, these guys have done it their whole life, and they have an eye for it. But I want to hear, okay, Max, who are the defensive linemen in this trade? Give me a couple of guys that you feel strongly about. By the way, the player that you didn't get, was it a defensive player or was it another position? We're not going to get who.
Yeah. They were. There's two of them that stick out, and they're both defensive players.
Defensive line.
And I was sick. I was like,
defensive
dang.
line.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Man, you can't make it more obvious, bro. You cannot make it more obvious, bro.
Oh man,
come on, bro. You cannot make it more obvious.
Tyree, bro. Like, why did they have to?
He was making it so obvious, bro. You cannot make it more obvious. And the other guy, I think he's talking about. Actually, I think the other guy, I think maybe Braden Fisk. The other guy may be Braden Fisk. So I know he's pounding the table for Braden Fisk last year. But obviously, the first guy was Jalen Carter. So it's obvious he couldn't have spelled it out any clearer. He kept making sure, like, man, I know D-line and I watch a guy play defense. Like, he couldn't make it any more clear, bro. Oh my goodness, man.
Damn, man. And it's even worse that Tyree just didn't. He's not even like, well, I don't want to say he's not contributing at all, but damn, like it's just he's not a number 7 pick, top 10 pick that you would envision on a defensive line. Like he's not, he's not that guy. But we'll see this year, man. He's gonna have another opportunity. He's gonna be the third guy. As of right now, he's the third guy. I mean, Charles Snowden might eat on the snaps, possibly. I mean, he did last year when Kuntz went down.
Tyree still didn't start, bro. Tyree couldn't start. He couldn't start over Charles Snowden and Caleb Chasen, bro. It's sickening.
Yeah, man. That's wild, man.
Hey, DC, I agree on that one, bro.
Did they smoke? Another flagging on play right here. It says GM ownership doubling down on trading Luka. Wow.
Oh, he did. But what is he gonna do? Like, yeah, I made a mistake. Like, he about to do that now. After his career is over, he'll probably look back and say, yeah, you know what, that was probably something I regret. But right now, you got to dig in, bro. You can't backpedal now. Just pedal to the metal at this point.
Man, maybe I don't know. Maybe something could happen. What is this, year 3? I think this would be year 3. So maybe he figures it out. I don't know, man. He has the tools. He has the physical tools. Maybe, Patrick Graham, third year in Patrick Graham's defense. Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's like he's kind of like he's the guy that, turned around Geno Smith's career. Maybe he could turn around Tyree's career. Who knows?
Yeah, man. But Geno Smith already had the confidence in himself, man.
I'm trying to be positive, man. I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying. he's Tyree his ass. Oh man, it's tough, bro. It's tough. That's why I'm like, hey, look, and this is what I mean. I don't know why everybody's just shocked about like, oh, how much needs we have. Like I was looking at thinking about it, like, man, taking me even taking a couple of running backs might be a luxury. Taking a quarterback might be a luxury just based off like how many needs we have. We need 2 corners, nickel and outside. We need a linebacker, maybe 2. Obviously wide receiver is a position that we might look into. If you want to keep it real, we might need 2 receivers.
Possibly.
Just because is Trey Tucker is what you would envision a slot receiver would be in offense? I would think a guy with that would be more shifty that can. I don't know. Trey Tucker is not that. I don't know, man. It's just like
Kyle Phillips would be that Trey Tucker for a slot. To be honest with you,
they did pick up Kyle Phillips. Yeah, they did pick up Kyle Phillips. That's a good point, but. Still, man, it's just like that third pass rushing role. Like, think about it. Kuntz is on a 1-year deal, right? Just think about it.
Yeah.
Kuntz on a 1-year deal. Are the Raiders going to re-sign him next year? You see that happening?
Probably not. If he does what
too much money,
Max
right?
thinks. Yeah, he does what Max thinks he's going to do, and what most Raiders fans think he's going to do. He's going to price himself out because he's going to demand 20-something million easy.
Hey man. Shout out to D-Mokes with the super chat.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Man, appreciate the support, man. He says Tyree listening to the podcast, like just smiling up, just look up there. He's like, you're not talking about me though.
Exactly. Who's this Tyree dude they talk about?
Oh man. But hey, look, it's his 3rd year. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, it like I could see the Raiders drafting a DN, a pass rusher, edge rusher in this draft too, and be like, it makes sense of it too. Like, oh, you know what, does make sense because we need that depth. We don't have really another guy outside of Tyree and Snowden and Kuntz. And Kuntz is on his way back from ACL injury. Is he back? Is he 100%? We don't even know how that's going to look like too.
Yeah. I think just another DJ. He had some good questions. He had 2 of them.
Okay. Man, appreciate the super chat, D-Mokes.
D-Mokes, appreciate you always. Yeah.
You said Joel had a question. Just another DJ. My bad. Serious question. What could Tyree do to change the narrative about him? Be more productive. Get after the quarterback.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like, not give up on plays. Like, I felt like, I don't know. It just seems like you could watch a game and not know that he's there.
Exactly.
You know, but
Tyree is very good in the run game. Tyree, as a run defender, he's a very good run defender. But you don't draft an edge player 7 overall to be a very good run defender, right? Cleveland Farrell was a very good run defender. And we ran him up out of town. And the fact that you drafted Tyree Wilson over the guy in Jalen Carter, who has turned out to be one of the best interior defensive linemen in the league, right? Everybody already saying he's the heir apparent to Aaron Donald, and also was possibly the best defensive player, throughout most of the season on a team that just won a Super Bowl. It's not a great look. It's not a great look, man. So
it sucks, man, because it's like, damn, I know why the Raiders pass. I know why the other teams pass because of like the off-field concerns, but like the time that the Raiders try to be smart, they come out looking dumb.
Yeah.
They made a terrible mistake, bro. Like, terrible, man. Like, it is what it is, man. The Raiders don't have any luck when it comes to drafting. Hopefully it changed, man, with SpyTech in the building. The second question, I think, let me pull it up here. Just another DJ said, what does his stats and impact have to look like to say that the Raiders were right about drafting Tyree Wilson?
He has to be all pro, bro. He'll be all pro.
You said all pro? I mean Pro Bowl. If he's a Pro Bowler, then I'm cool with that.
Pro Bowl's kind of trash, though. I mean, Gardner Minshew was a Pro Bowler 2 years ago.
But if he makes the Pro Bowler, what does that mean? That he probably would have had like about 7 to 8 sacks. If Tyree Wilson gives me 7 to 8 sacks, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, damn.
You gotta give me more than 7. Give me more than 7.
Nah,
he
man.
had 6 last year.
I'm just saying from where he is now to go to 7 to 8 sacks, that's a huge jump, bro. Huge.
He had 6 this past year.
He had 6.
He had 6. Yeah. He had 6.
Damn. He didn't have.
So I'm saying, but say like
hold
half
on.
of those
Tyree
sacks.
had 6 sacks. A lot of that was like cleanup sacks. Like
he was the
nearest defender.
It was, I can tell you for sure, 2 of them came on stunts where Adam Butler cleared out 2 defenders and Tyree was basically unblocked. 1 came on a play where Tyree was for sure unblocked and all they had to do was run straight and get a sack. And then 1 came, it was an effort sack where it was like,
he
it's a cover sack, basically.
He had 4.5.
He 4.5 this past year? I thought he had 6. Okay, I'm tripping then.
Yeah, 45. Nah. No, the guy that we let go and didn't re-sign had like 6. K'Lavon Chaseon, yep.
Okay,
He had about like 5. He had like 5 to 6.
Tyree too much credit then. I get Tyree.
Yeah,
and then for sure, all of his Tyree sacks came unblocked then. Yeah, all of his sacks came unblocked.
Yeah.
He was on the plays he wasn't blocked. All of them.
Yeah, man. If he can double the sacks or get close to that, if he gets like 7, 8 sacks, if he gets 7 to 8 just from where he started and not just 7 to 8 sacks, you made a good point about how like he came in unblocked. Like if he's able to beat the man in front of him.
Exactly.
That's a big improvement.
I need to see like 14, bro. I need to see like 13, 14, bro. For you to be a top 10 pick, I need to see 13, 14, bro. I can't be like 7 to 8. Like that's like, okay, well, damn, we salvaged it. It's not a complete bust. He can stay on the roster, maybe. But if he gives me 7 to 8,
if he gives me 7 to 8, then I have hope that he can get to 10 plus. I have hope. Right now, I don't know if I have hope that he's gonna get to 7. He's at 4.5. He had 4.5 last year.
I need this dude. I need 13, 14. I need 13, 14. I need high school. I need high school freshmen sacks, bro. You got to be 13, 14, bro. Facts. I can't. It can't be no positive because you can't. At that point, it's not justified. It's like, okay, maybe he'll get it. And Tyree ain't the dude. I don't think he ever gonna get it, bro. I don't know if he'll ever get it. I don't know if he'll ever figure it out. Remember when we was talking? Remember they was talking about like Nate Hobbs and Max was talking about dudes. They would pick the hoop, and they was like, "Oh, what about Tyree?" And Nate was like, "Man, Tyree is basically told the dude like dude was stiff as hell, like not coordinated. Right. Like it was like, bro, never they picking Tyree, like." Like that tells you a lot of what you need to know right there, man. He doesn't have a pass rush.
Take this for however I was, because I wanted to look at something up real quick, because the last time we picked a DN pass rusher early was Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah.
And first couple of years in the league, Tyree has 8 sacks altogether. 8 sacks.
Yeah.
Cleveland Farrell has had from 2019 to 2020 season, he has 6.5. See, that's an improvement. It's a little slight,
man.
Slight improvement.
But we know the difference is that Khalil Mack played like half those snaps at linebacker, so he didn't have near as many pass rush attempts.
Damn, it's crazy too. Cleveland Farrell was like pretty much. He was like healthy.
The same guy.
For the most part. Damn.
Are you talking about Farrell or Matt?
Yeah, I'm looking at Farrell right now, but I'm just comparing their first couple of seasons.
Oh yeah.
And seeing how that looks like, but it's pretty similar as far as
between
like
Farrell and Wilson, right?
Yeah, it's like 6. Farrell had 6.5 sacks, and Tyree has 8 sacks in his first 2 seasons.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
I thought you said Mac.
No, Khalil Mack, his first season was 4 sacks, but that whole season, everybody was like, this dude, because they played him at 2 positions. Yeah, they played him at 2 positions.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said Khalil Mack.
You could, yeah, no, not Khalil Mack. Hell no, I don't know. Why would I even? Hell no.
I thought you said Khalil Mack.
I would even. I would not compare. I would not compare Tyree to Khalil Mack in any way, even if I was just comparing their first couple of seasons. Like, that's just not fair. Everybody knew that Khalil Mack was a dog year one. He didn't even put up big sacks his first year. It was just like you could tell.
Like four or something like that, right?
Yeah, he had like 4. He had 4 sacks. Actually, you know what? Let's see what he did. What did Khalil Mack do in his second season? I think he had like 8 or something like that. Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Let's see. Khalil Mack. Yeah. Let's see. 2014, he had 4 sacks. Damn. 2015, he had 15.
Bro, yes, I told you, bro. I need 13, 14, bro.
But Khalil Mack was taking taking like top 5. He was number 4th pick in the draft. 4th, 5th pick in the draft. Like, he was top 5 pick. Man, I remember Merrill Hodge too was like, man, this dude is the best defensive player in the draft. Like, I remember he was saying that too, especially because everybody was talking about taking
Jadeveon Clowney.
Number 1, yeah. He was saying he was a better defender than Jadeveon Clowney, and then everything worked out for the Raiders back then. But
it worked out for the Raiders like a mug, bro. And not even him. You look at Anthony Barr. Who you talk another guy? Anthony Barr was a guy who got drafted by Minnesota. I don't know if he converted to full-time DN or not though. But yeah, that was a guy that was a hell of a linebacker in that draft too. Like,
out of UCLA,
just not it, bro. Yep. So it got Tyree just not it, bro. It's Tyree. Look, I'm holding out hope, man. Like, this is year 3. Everybody keep trying to say people move the goalposts. And I knew they was gonna do this. And it's like, technically last year was his rookie year because his first year wasn't really a year because he was hurt. Like, that's their excuse now. But I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that. Like, bro, I'm not saying. Look, I understand the Pro Bowl. It doesn't really have as much, like, impact or it's not the same as being All Pro. I get that, but All Pro is basically the best at that position. You're the best player at that spot, pretty much. They got first team and second team, so you're like literally first or second best, which is, man, that's great. But like, if you're third best, or 4th best, or 5th best, 6th best, that's still good.
And like for the most part, if you're going to the Pro Bowl, you did something pretty good. I mean, is it something that you want to like, oh man, like highlight and be like, he's a Pro Bowler, like an All Pro? No, but it's still somewhat good. Like it's not the same as, I feel like other positions. I mean, quarterback, I feel like it's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
But other positions, I think it makes sense. Like from, you know,
some of them, because a lot of it is fan vote. I mean, because like it's like all pro is a high bar, that's a high bar. But
yeah,
he needs to be like
highest.
All pro level player. Could be like, oh man, you know what? He didn't get all pro, but damn, you know, it was a, you know, he could have been there. I can see why they gave it to this guy. I need that at least. Yeah, exactly. Bro, he was untouched.
Yeah. He says, what does Pro Bowler mean? 11.5 sacks, 10, but 5 batted down. Okay. I like that Omicron, like, he defined this. What does this actually mean? So let's look at, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this, but I want to see, like, who made the Pro Bowler at edge this year? All you got to do is do that and just see, like, are those guys good? Are they good? Yeah. And if none of them, or if one of them is not, then okay, then you could probably question it a little bit. But like if they're good, then that's if Tyree makes the Pro Bowler, y'all not saying that's not a huge improvement?
If he's
huge.
like a backdoor,
come on, man, y'all
Bowl.
calling him ass right now, and I agree. You know what I mean? I like he's not playing up to his, you know, draft spot at pick number 7. But what I'm saying is if he goes from you guys calling him trash, ass, whatever negative thing you want to call him, and he makes the Pro Bowl next year. Let's see. 2024. Wait, let's see. Edge Pro Bowlers. Edge. Or DN.
Let's see who was on the Pro Bowl.
Okay, look. AFC, right? Myles Garrett, Trey Henderson. Come on, bro. Those are the starters.
Yeah, those starters for sure.
Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter's he's a beast.
He's a beast, but you know that's like that one's getting kind of.
But I'm just saying, like, Danielle Hunter is a pretty good pass rusher.
He's a good player. He's a good player. But I wouldn't say, Hunter, we should have took him at number 7 overall. You know, over Jalen Carter. Think about it. Over Jalen Carter. That's the other part.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that what makes it even worse is the fact that he's not a good player for us. He's not like one of the best players on the team. He's not he's not a productive player on that D line. Like, does he do some things good? Like you just mentioned, like he could stop the run. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he's not living up to that number 7 spot. Meaning, like, man, he's not a guy that like we could put on that D line in obvious passing situations, whether it's on the edge or inside. You know, because that's one of the things that they mentioned him getting drafted is versatility, and it's not like he can get to the quarterback at will. You know, that's not what he is right now. So if he ever is going to be that. But yeah, a lot of the players, I'm looking at AFC, but I don't know. You could probably look at the NFC.
Yeah, no, I give him credit. If he makes it to the AFC, Myles Garrett is still living in the AFC. Obviously, Max is still in the AFC.
Right.
I don't know. I think they have TJ Watt as an outside linebacker. So he's not gonna make. So it's really just Max and Myles Garrett, 2 locks in the AFC.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. Like,
is there
like, come on,
else
man. Let's be real, man. Like, let's keep real. We can't say that he's trash and then be like, oh, he makes the Pro Bowl next year. I'm still not gonna be set. Like, if he makes the Pro Bowl, I'm gonna be like, thank you. At least he's a good player. At least he's become a good player. You know what I mean? Now, is he gonna be Jalen Carter? No, but the fact that he's not a good player for us, like he's not like a good pass rusher, you know, like that's what makes it even worse.
I give credit. I give him that because he'd have to make it either over or with Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. So I was like, okay, hey, he does it. Because I'm trying to think if there's another guy that's there. I was like, all right, man, he's hey, that's hell of a season. Still should have took Jalen Carter. It's a hell of a season.
Right. Yeah, man. That's the Raiders and plus 8 other teams or 7 other teams. You know what I mean? So.
We knew we needed defensive help, though. That's the thing. We knew we needed defensive help, and we needed defensive tackle help. Like we knew we needed defensive tackle help. This is before Christian Wilkins.
Yeah. That's true.
You know?
We needed defensive tackle. Yeah, I know. That's even makes it. That's another reason why it's bad too, because we needed a defensive tackle. Like we needed.
Exactly.
Like imagine Jalen Carter. And the thing is, we would have had Jalen Carter on a rookie deal, and Christian Wilkins. I don't think we would have signed him to that big time contract. We didn't.
No, we don't. We got Jalen Carter. Right. And guess what else we don't do? We don't trade up for Byron Young in the 3rd round. And know what else we can do? We can probably take the edge rusher Byron Young instead of the defensive tackle Byron Young.
Yeah. But because they forced it. You could tell they forced it with Byron Young in the 3rd. Because I remember doing mocks back then, and like everybody no one had Byron Young going that early. Like everybody had him like in like the 5th or 6th, like 3rd round. Like, and is he in the NFL still? Is he still with the Eagles? Is he at the Eagles?
He just won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he's won a Super Bowl.
Shining in their shoes. Like he wasn't doing anything.
He was in that parade celebrating like he made the game winning sack.
Hey, no, I can't take that away from him, man. He's in the NFL. Like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was celebrating, got a ring and everything, but. Yeah, man, he didn't do like if you want to talk about Tyree not being noticed, I did not notice Byron Young being in the game at all. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy. It was a terrible pick by Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels. He said develop a pass rush move. Yeah, man. Raider Smoke in the building, man. My guy, he says, do you guys think that T-Mac can be the difference maker that can take a short pass house? Been hearing from some that he's not that kind of receiver. Nah, he's not a really explosive receiver like that.
Difference maker that can do what now?
He says, is he a type of difference maker where he could take a short pass and take it to the house?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what he does do. He's not the guy. He's maybe not the guy that can take the top off the defense, like deep threat. But throw it to him short. Oh, he's probably one of the best players in this draft class with the ball in his hands as a receiver. Like that's what he does do well. Like he doesn't do like the like that's his like that's right in his wheelhouse. Like taking a short pass. Like he turns into like he's a much faster player with the ball.
But he's saying taking it to the house though. I don't think that's his game.
That's what he does. He's not like a take the top off the defense, but put the ball in his hands and let him.
So he's taking small short passes in college to the house.
Yes.
I want to see that right now. I want to see that right now.
Bro, look it up. He's one of the best players, if not the best receiver with the ball in his hands, bro. That's what he does.
Yeah, man. I don't know about that, man.
But you can check it right now.
I don't look at T-Mac as an explosive playmaker. I don't look at T-Mac as an explosive.
He's not a guy he's not like a take the top off the defense like you got to put 2 safeties over the top. He's not that kind of player. You get him the ball in his hands, he will make 2-3 guys miss and he will take it to the house. He is faster with the ball in his hands somehow than he is as a route runner. You can check the tape, bro. This is what he does. That's what he does. One of the best in college football, if not the best.
Let's see. T-Mac. Let's see. Let's see. T-Mac. Yak. I mean, I've seen him like make a guy miss and like get some yak, but like I didn't see him take it to the house.
He is a guy.
This is the wrong T-Mac. Ooh, yeah, my bad.
Oh, what?
T-Mac name ain't, he ain't built his, he ain't replaced T-Mac.
I'm telling you, man. Telling you. Tedero with the ball in his hands is a monster.
Yeah, but he said take it to the house, bro. I don't know if he's that.
Tell you, bro, he's done it.
Well, just look at how much he's averaged a catch. Let's see how much he averaged a catch. Let's see. Let's break it down. McMillan. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. We're looking at Tedero T-Mac. We're having a little friendly little conversation here talking about if T-Mac is a guy that can take it to the house. All right, here we go. Sports Reference. Let's start there. So let's see. 3 years at Arizona. Why are they? 15 yards. His career was 16 yards a catch. Solid.
Yeah. And think about it, he's not a guy he's not like a super deep threat guy. So a lot of that
is
more of
would you say more of a jump ball guy down the field?
Ball guy. But a lot of the stuff they did was, run him on. He's a guy, they would run him on routes and put the ball in his hands, let him just do work.
Usually they tell you the long. I guess show you that. Let's see. Receiving. Let's see.
Chill Ray, Chill Ray been on it. Chill Ray, we way ahead of you, brother. Way ahead of you.
Is T-Mac the new D Hopkins?
I don't know about that.
But
I mean, it could be though, because I mean because people said similar things about D-Hop, about like not having the speed, not being able to separate, stuff like that. They said some of their stuff. I think AJ Brown is faster than Tedero.
Oh, East Coast says he has a whole thread.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's talking about yeah. He does.
I'm just to be clear, I'm challenging if T-Mac is a guy that can take the ball to the house at any given moment. That's what we're talking about. Not that he can get yak.
Yeah.
Not that he can get yak. It's more like that was the original question. It's right here. Actually, it's right here. Can he take a short pass to the house?
Yeah.
In the NFL, where, the average DB, is running a 4.3.
Yeah.
It's where the play speed is higher. Like this is not college, but but if he's done it in college, what I mean, there might be some potential he could do it in. I'm just saying, let me see. Yeah, but that's not the question. Get in the open space. T-Mac's one of the best at getting in the open space, but that's not the. Let's see. There shouldn't be such a debate taking a receiver top 10. No, we would be surprised if he drops to the 20s. You take guaranteed difference makers. Just that type of draft too.
Who's a guaranteed difference maker? You telling me Ashton Genty is a guaranteed difference maker? So I could tell you, look at the track record of the top 10 running backs and tell me who if they're guaranteed or not.
It's been some hits though. Guys been taking it. There's been two
Not
busts
recently.
I can think of.
Not recently. Not guys with their same team.
Who are you thinking about?
I mean, you look at guys what they did with guys that are on new teams have done well.
Who do you think about that didn't work out? I have like a couple of mine, but you said recently, so I just want to hear who are the recent guys that you're saying that didn't work out.
Didn't work out with their original team? Every one of them.
That weren't hits. Like they weren't busts.
So you're talking about not bust at all or didn't work out with the original team? There's a difference.
So yeah, exactly. Just because they didn't sign with the original team doesn't mean that they're a bad player. Saquon
that's the point. What's good? Okay, what good is drafting a player if he doesn't work out for you and go somewhere else and plays well?
But that's not what I'm asking though. I'm asking you what player, what running back wasn't a guy that was a bust. That's what I'm asking. Well, that was a bust recently because you said recent. It didn't work out recently. So
none of the top 10 running backs recently drafted, the only one still on their team is Bijan. So what are we arguing if they're a bust or not if they're not on their original team?
Are they a good player though? Are they a good player?
Yeah, but they're a good player on other teams. If we draft Ashton Genty and he doesn't help us and he goes somewhere else and turns into a good player, or he plays okay for us and we don't win and we let him walk and he goes somewhere, like what is that helping us for? Like how does that help us?
No, I'm not arguing if like because you're trying to take it back to the Raiders taking Ashton Genty and I've been obviously I'm not on that. On that, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that the player isn't good though. It doesn't mean that the player is not a great player at that position.
Yeah, but it means that you don't draft a player at that position because he's likely not going to help you. So he's not an impact player. If he doesn't help you, he's not an impact player. That's the point, bro.
That's hard for.
If he does not help you win, he is not an impact player.
Okay, so Brock Bowers. So Brock Bowers didn't help us win.
We're going the games we did win. Brock Bowers helped us win.
We won 4 games. And that's what we're doing. Come on, Severe. That's what we're doing, bro. That's what we're doing. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Are you serious?
Brock Bowers broke the rookie record.
We won 4 games, and you're talking about come on, man. So we can't do that with running backs. We can't do that with running backs. Then are pretty good running backs, running backs.
So how many of those guys put up historic seasons with their respective teams?
How many guys?
How many of those guys put? So you can't compare Brock to those guys. Brock put up historic numbers. So Saquon, did Saquon have any season comparable to what Brock did? Did Christian McCaffrey with the Panthers have a comparable season to what Brock did?
No, but that's not what was originally asked though. That was not what was originally asked. We're not talking about who had all-time great seasons. We're talking about if someone was good and if they impacted the win-loss column. And I said, okay, we just had Brock Bowers who played last season. He played well, played all-time great, whatever the case may be. We won 4 games. And you're like, we won 4 games. He was the reason why we won 4 games. Okay, but we won 4 games. What does it matter? What does it matter?
So there were other.
We won 4 games, bro. What does it matter?
But my point is that in 4 years, we're going to bring Brock Bowers back. Right?
Hopefully, yeah.
We're going to likely bring Brock Bowers back.
I hope so, yeah.
Did the Giants bring Saquon back?
They did not. I think Saquon. I think they had an offer on the table for Saquon, but he wanted to go Philadelphia, wanted to go back home. But hey,
no, that's not what happened at all. They had an opportunity to pay Saquon, and they chose to pay Daniel Jones. And they
had an offer. They had an offer for Saquon. They did have an offer for Saquon.
They had an opportunity to pay Saquon, and they elected to pay Daniel Jones.
But he was in an open. They had an offer for Saquon. He was in an open market. He chose to leave. He went to Philadelphia. Who would blame him? He went to a better situation, better team. It was a better move. He had 2,000 yards and a Super Bowl. So
they had an opportunity to pay Saquon. They chose to pay Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's not no probably. That's exactly what happened. There ain't no probably about it. But that's what happened. They chose to pay Daniel Jones and they franchised Saquon. And then they tried to do it again.
But what I'm saying Well, but what I'm saying was reported to be true. I mean, they said that they had an offer on the table for Saquon. It didn't. Obviously, Saquon didn't want at that point. Yeah, I mean, he didn't. They franchised him. They handled it a different way than Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones obviously plays that quarterback position. We all know how important that position is. But at the end of the day, like, it doesn't take it away. It doesn't change that Saquon is a great player.
They lowballed him on an offer, and then he walked because they lowballed him.
Right.
So I mean, and if he was
I don't think they lowballed him. I think Saquon just made a smart move. I think that, like, they offered a comparable deal, and he was like, wait, I'm gonna go to a better team.
It wasn't comparable.
The Eagles are a better team than the Giants, bro. Like, if a deal is offered to you and this is a better team, you're gonna go to the better team.
But it wasn't a comparable deal, though. That's the point.
All right. Well, hey, like, it don't really matter at the end of the day. Like, he ended up going to the Eagles. He's still a great player. I agree that I feel like certain positions don't have the same impact than others. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't take away that they're a great player. Like, it doesn't take. They do impact games. It just has to be there has to be a certain team around them to make it work.
Exactly.
Like, even Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is a great player, but guess what? You need a quarterback. Exactly. You need to have a defense. You got to be able. Like, there's certain things you need in order to really have those players be as impactful as you want them to be. I mean, But an outside receiver can dictate more than a running back, because a running back is damn near completely dependent on the people. They lowballed him with. Okay, they lowball. Okay. If that's true, then that's true. Okay, but either way, you know what I mean. I think that was a terrible decision to let him go. It was terrible. But that's why the Giants have been bad, and the Eagles keep winning. You know what I mean? Like, the Eagles, teams like the Eagles.
But my point is that if you're drafting in the top 6, a running back is not going to make an impact for you, because there are so many other things wrong with your team that a running back can't possibly do enough to impact winning enough to change all of that.
Okay. All right. Well, you can say that, but it's kind of true for a lot of other positions too, man. Like, all right, would you consider a premium position to be a wide receiver, right? Would you consider wide receiver a premium position? If you have a wide receiver, he has an all-time great season, does that do anything in the win-loss column? Probably not, because if you don't have the most important position filled, which is a quarterback position, if you don't have a good defense, you got to have, at the end of the day, you got to have things in place in order to feel the impact of those types of seasons. I don't think it really, I think at the end of the day, like, if you have a great player, it's cool, but if you don't have the team around them, it doesn't really matter.
Yes, but wide receivers are more valuable in the NFL than running backs.
Because it's a passing league, they pay them more. I get it. I get that, but still, it still takes a lot to win. It still takes more than one player to win.
Yeah, but wide receiver has a better chance of being more, like, they say running backs are supposed to be the position that translates the easiest to the NFL. But running backs, you need all of that other infrastructure in place. You don't need as much infrastructure in place for a good perimeter player.
So when you say perimeter player, you're talking about wide receiver?
Generally a wide receiver, yeah, or a move tight end like Brock. Because a running back, it's
Nah. They do need a lot in place. What are you talking about?
They don't need as much as a running back.
They need a quarterback to pass on the ball. They need an offensive line to protect the quarterback. They need a good play caller. They need a solid offensive scheme.
Yes,
like,
but
they got it.
But a wide receiver can make an impact just by drawing coverage. That's impactful.
Okay, so a running back. So hold up. So a running back, a great running back, can't impact the game at all. Play action.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying. But if you're not, but that's the point.
Making it easier for guys to get open.
in order for play action to work well, what do you have to do first?
You got
exactly
man,
my point.
You got to run. You got to run the football.
Exactly.
I mean, look, you got to run the football. You got to be able to run football.
Exactly.
But
you have to run the ball well.
But if you're a great running back, right? If you're a great running back, look, we seen. Look, all right. When I say great, right? When I say great, for example, Brock Bowers. You brought up Brock Bowers. You feel like he's a great player or close to that? He had an all-time great season, right?
Look.
Especially as a rookie year. What made it a great season is that he didn't have like the best situation. He didn't have like an all-time. He didn't have a really good quarterback throwing the ball. They changed the offensive coordinator in the middle of the season. He was able to transcend everything around him. So you don't think a running back can transcend things around him? Like
no.
Oh my God.
Who has done it? Who has done it? Who's done it? Who's done it? Name the player that's done it.
Let me
name the player that's done it.
Let me. All right, come on, bro. You want me to go to like specific running backs? I mean, Adrian Peterson. I mean, like, I don't remember him having like a great supporting cast as far as maybe. I don't want to say the O-line was bad, but like I don't know the weapons that were on that offense. Christian Ponder at quarterback.
Offensive line was good. Offensive line was good.
But you know what I'm saying? But they had a lot of people in the box. So that means they didn't respect whoever was throwing the ball, and they didn't respect the guys on the outside.
But they had a good offensive line.
Come on, Samir.
They had a good offensive line.
I gave you an example.
Are you comparing? So you comparing Adrian Peterson? Look, you just named Brock Bowers. Like
no, I'm just saying because you said a great player. Because the conversation is about great players. The conversation is about great players. I'm saying Brock Bowers is great. I'm putting Brock Bowers in that conversation because he had a great season. He has to be a little bit more consistent to be a great player. But like I'm talking about, great players can transcend the things around them sometimes. Like that's what kind of makes them great a little bit. Malik Neighbors. I seen some Giants fans in here. Malik Neighbors, right?
Yeah, Malik Neighbors.
Look at the season that he put up.
Oh yeah,
Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas. Yeah. No, who are you naming? Perimeter players. You have to go all the way back to Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. I'm naming those, but I was talking about great players. But I talked about because I'm talking about running backs. I'm talking about running backs. So I brought up an all-time great running back.
Okay,
all right,
so
Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson.
Well, so okay. How long ago was that? I'm
bringing up great players. I'm gonna get great because I don't think there's a lot of great running backs. To be honest with you, I don't think there's a lot of great running backs.
But how long ago was this? How far back do you have
outside
to go?
of
we just named 3 guys that were perimeter players this past year that transcended
What is it? What does it matter? I'm giving you great players.
It's like, come on, bro. You have to go back.
All right. You want me to go? Like, you want to go? Like, hold on. Let me see. Let me think about.
It's like, man. Did you see Jim Brown? Did you see my guy Jim Brown do it? It's like, name me a recent guy that's done it.
But who do you feel like? Like you want like an what are you expecting? Like what are because you're right now you're trying to say that what I'm saying isn't true, but it is true. But you're saying that you're saying because it's from back then. But if I talk about a running back now, like what is the criteria that you're saying that would make him a productive player? Like if he has 1,000 yards rushing, like he has to have at least 1,000 yards rushing in a bad situation.
1,000 yards. 1,000 yards is that's not a come on. That's not even. That's not. No, Najee Harris has gotten 1,000 yards every year of his career. So I'm not. If you just look at 1,000 yards every year of his career. So 1,000 yards is not a measuring stick anymore. It's trash. Like you give me 13 to 1,400, I'll do that. Maybe Christian McCaffrey, but even then, Christian McCaffrey, he still had Cam and stuff like that. So it's like even him.
But
it's
like
not even.
They had Greg Olsen.
They had Greg Olsen. They had Ted Ginn. So it's like Steve Smith at one point. So
it's tough because a lot, that teams they're not running a football like that. Like it's just kind of
exactly why.
But it's coming back though. It's coming back though. I don't know if you notice it, but it's coming back, bro.
You don't take a running back at 6. That's exactly why you don't take a running back at 6, man.
I'm not arguing not taking a running back. I'm not arguing about taking a running back. I'm just saying that a running back can be great. I'm just all right. Now you trolling now. You trolling. All right.
I'm saying if you're not arguing not taking a running back at 6, because he's saying that you have to take a guaranteed impact player at 6. That's his argument. That's what he said. And you're saying we don't take a running back at 6.
You said don't take it. No. What? Nah, I didn't go dark on purpose, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to catch up with the chat, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm just saying a great player, a great running back. There could be a great running back on the board regardless of what you feel about the position. I mean, like you're talking about like if the Raiders should take a running back. I'm not arguing that. Yeah. I'm not arguing about Raiders taking a running back. I'm saying that a running back still can be great. And there's been examples of that in recent drafts. I mean, you could talk about the Bijan Robinsons. You could talk about the Saquons. And now the guy that's coming out of, Boise State. So it's like at the end of the day, like
the last of the most recent guys at running back drafted in the top 10, only one still on their current team is Bijan. And that's because he's a third-year player. So, none of those guys are with their team anymore.
Hey, man, this is what we do, man. 50-50 show, man.
Yeah. So look.
Always at the end, though. It always happens at the end, man. It always happens at the end.
Look, if you told me that we draft Genty, he's going to be Adrian Peterson, I'm good taking him at 6. First of all, I don't think he's going to be Adrian Peterson. And I think there are other backs in this draft class that are close to him in talent and that could possibly surpass him in the NFL. So I'm not taking him at 6.
Yeah, but I'm not arguing taking Genty at 6 though. Like that's the crazy thing. In your head, you think that's what I argue. What I said, I'm like, well, you know what? A running back still can be a great player at that spot. You know what I mean? And you were like, what? I still want to take no running back in the top 10. Like there are certain situations that I would take a running back in the top 10. I don't think the Raiders specifically should take a running back in top 10, but like maybe a team like the Bears, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad if they took Genty because Genty is like considered, a great prospect, one of the best prospects to not ever come out, but like, one of the best prospects to come out in the last 10 years at his position. So I wouldn't be mad if a team like that. I think it's just case by case. The Raiders, I don't think they're in the best position for a Genty just because they have a whole bunch of needs. Like there's so many different spots like they need help with. I feel like, but I could see the argument though. I could see like, man, we need great players. We need talent. Like we need to get, but it's a good conversation to have, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Space Beast with the super chat, my guy. He says it's settled. We're taking King Ted at 6. I don't know, man. 6 is a little too high for him, man. I'll be honest with you. To be honest, like if I'm keeping it real, I'm okay with addressing receiver later in the draft. I don't even think we need to take Ted at 6. I feel like we can get someone that complements the weapons that we already have. Like we got the Brock Bowers, we got the Jacoby Myers. Let's get some speed. Let's add some more speed. However way that looks like, or even address. It don't even have to be a speedy receiver. Maybe a guy that we could see maybe that can develop into number 1. I know Ted is a guy that a lot of people might value, but I just feel like we can go somewhere else early on. I don't know. That might be a little too early, but that's just me. What's your take on it? You be okay with T-Mac at 6, or would you want to trade down? How would it look like for you?
If we could trade down and get him, that would be ideal. But I'd take Ted at 6 way before I take Genty at 6, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean it's I don't think the Raiders are in a position to take a running back, like I said, but damn, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'd take Ted Rowe way before I take Genty. Just just the value of the position, the depth of running back in this class.
But would you take would you, if outside of Genty, would you take T-Mac at 6? Out of all the options, not just running back.
If Mason Graham is there, then I'd have a long thought, and the only reason it'd be difficult just because I don't want to pass on a guy like Mason Graham. But it's like we already sunk a lot of resources into our defensive line, paying Max, paying Christian Wilkins. We gave Adam Butler. It's not a crazy contract, but we paid him. We paid Kuntz. We're paying Kuntz this year. There's already a lot of resources along the defensive line. If you have like plans on moving off from Christian Wilkins soon, all right, then maybe I do that. But I think there are some other very good defensive tackles in the second round. In the second round in this draft class. Tyleik Williams, Kenneth Grant, the guy from what's the guy from Oregon? I forget his name. Guy from Oregon. There are 2 guys from Oregon, right? Actually, so I'm like I wouldn't mind having one of those guys. Plus, I think we need more of a space eater in the middle, and I think Mason Graham, he's not my ideal nose tackle. But just the talent, it'd be hard to pass up.
Okay, my guy, East Coast Gridiron. You got a couple of clips that he sent in here. Let's see.
We sent on X.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to look for the.
Trying to share it. There it is. Super Omicron got it. Derek Harmon. That's the guy from Oregon. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. Tyleik Williams, Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon, all those guys. In the second, Kenneth Grant might go late first. Tyleik may go late first. I doubt it. But yeah, Derek Harmon there too.
All right, I think this is a clip. Appreciate the super chat, Space Beast, my guy, man. Appreciate you coming through and supporting the show.
Always supporting.
Let's see. Let me share this real quick. Let's see. I want everybody to see it. All right.
Derek Harmon.
So he catches it. Okay. He takes it to the house. It was against Georgia?
I doubt it. Nah.
Said Bulldogs.
Maybe Fresno State, maybe?
Oh, Fresno State? Okay.
Yeah.
It said, what did it say?
Mississippi State. Oh, Mississippi State. Mississippi State.
Okay. Okay, there you go. You take it to the house, but I gotta see. He showed a little speed there. It's kind of hard to. I'll try my best. All right, there you go, right there. You see him. That's him right there with the mouse. You gotta follow it. All right, he catches it. Okay.
That's SEC team too, right?
Yeah. Hey. I know ECG is a big T-Mac fan, man.
He says he's generational.
He's generational, so.
But I mean, like, there's a few. I mean, I'm telling you, like, there's another guy I watch who does scouting. He said he might put Teddy Rowe as a number 1 player in his draft class.
Who?
It's that franchise guy. He's on YouTube, but he said he might put. And
ECG, man, it was the first one to really say it. To be honest with you, that I heard.
Yeah, for sure. He was the first one I heard say it. They said he's generational, best player in this draft class. EC Dante was the first person I heard say it. So
Yeah.
All credit goes to him on that one. So
yes, sir.
But yeah, man. Do we ever get to the other notable quote? We sure did.
Man, I told you, man. At the end, we always we do like a little. All right, man. Mano 50. But it's a good discussion. But I know everybody enjoys it. I would be mad at Ted at 6. I won't be mad at Ted at 6. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with him, man. I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with Ted at 6, man. I'd understand. There's a method to the madness right there. And I think he's a Geno style player. We do, man. We do.
Not exactly. I don't think we need generational blocking. If we have a great running back,
I like Glaze.
I
like DJ Glaze at at right tackle. Need some help at guard.
But hey, man, I'm with you, Omicron, man. I wouldn't be mine if they feel like they
that's
can,
what it was. Omicron, Jamari Caldwell. That dude is a dog. For Oregon, that dude is a dog.
He's like short, like 6'1".
Nah, Jamari Caldwell. Nah, he's not short.
He's a run stuffer, right?
Not exactly.
Hold on, who am I talking about?
You think about
I'm thinking about hold on, let me see.
Who was short? Who was a short DT?
I think he's like 6'1". Hold on, let me
he's
look
not
this up,
6'1".
I was literally looking at like a
He's 6'2", 332.
Okay, that's someone different then. Who am I looking at? Hold on 1 second.
He said Aeneas Peebles. There's another guy that was short though, right? I forgot who it was.
Hold on, let me look at. Let's see. Could have sworn I was looking at. ECG, what do you think of Cam Jackson?
Out of Florida?
Yeah. How you feel about him? You seen anything?
I like
him?
I like him. He's big.
Nose tackle stops run.
Big boy. Yeah, nose tackle. 805 is a Florida fan. 805 likes him.
He likes him? Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a late, not world changing.
Yeah,
he's a late
like
guy.
I feel like he'd be a nice little pickup, like in the 5th or something like that, 5th, 6th, early 6th.
He's late around. He's a later round guy.
Alfred Collins, dog. Harmon and Caldwell didn't move the needle. You talking about Derek Harmon?
I like Caldwell. Derek Harmon from Oregon.
Walter Nolan is the best D tackle in the class to me.
A lot of people like Walter Nolan.
Okay. Well, let's move it along real quick, man, and we gotta wrap it up. This is where we go to what's real, what's not, and this is where we say, a statement. Y'all react to it if it's real or it's not. Me and Severe also react to it as well.
I think
we got 2, right? We got a couple.
We got 2. I think we skipped the other notable quotable. I don't know if you want to skip it.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't on the. On the
yeah,
thing.
my fault.
My bad. Yeah. Actually, let's go to the next notable quotable. My bad, y'all. We not done. Damn, we went on a tangent. We went on a crazy tangent. Yeah. That's what we do on 50/50 show sometimes, man. We go on a crazy tangent, man. But if you want to give the intro to the second notable quotable.
Yeah, so Spytech was talking to some of the Raiders media just about his draft philosophy, the team building aspect and how he approaches it from the aspect of team building.
I'm just reading this real quick. Let me go ahead and play this clip. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, it's really a team building exercise is what you're looking for, right? I mean, it's certainly based some on need. Certainly it's based on the caliber of player that you're watching. And the ideal scenario is those two things match up. And then that's the perfect draft pick. But that very, very rarely happens. I think back to, to give a real life example of this, I think back to our first draft in Cleveland when I was there in 2010. It was a draft where we had conversations back and forth on Eric Berry and Joe Hayden and who the right pick was at that point, if they both were available. It turns out at 7, there was only one available. It was Joe Hayden, as Eric went 5th that year. But we had a safety in the second round that we really liked, that we really felt good about. So I think ultimately, while it was really close between Eric and Joe, we felt like the drop-off from corner at Joe in 1 to what we would get in the second round was a lot greater than the drop-off from Eric to a player named TJ Ward. And that's ultimately probably what we would have ended up doing had we had to make the decision. Yeah, it's really a team-building exercise is what you're looking for.
That's interesting, like how he kind of gets into like the thought process of how he makes decisions. And I remember I was telling you this too, doing the mocks. I was doing mocks yesterday, and I was telling you, like, man, like when you get to the second round, there's a lot of running backs I would like to take, and there's a lot of corners to take as well. So the Raiders are gonna have to figure out how they would kind of go about that, because there's a chance they can lose out on some of those guys if they wait till the third. Man, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, y'all gonna have to wait for Around the Shield. We're gonna do a couple of mock drafts on Thursday, so make sure to tune into that. But Severe, what were your thoughts on Spytek and his thought process when he picks his players?
I mean, I think it's interesting. I think it gives us a little bit of insight into what we might do on next Thursday, and just from the standpoint of everybody considers this a very deep running back class, kind of crowded at the top. So if there's a player there at a different position, whether that be wide receiver, whether that be tackle, maybe corner, maybe DT, if he feels the value is better for those guys there, and the position drop off is so much so where it's better value getting a guy like at the top of that position in the first round and picking maybe a running back in the second or the third, then I think we could be going away from Ashton Genty. But it could be a smokescreen, right? Or you never know.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I think Spytek, he's kind of like a first-year guy, so he's kind of like going about it like really honest about it. He's not going to show everything. He's not going to tell you everything, but it's going to be interesting. This is his first draft, so we're going to see. And I think Pete Carroll is going to have a lot of say in that building, and also Tom Brady. We're kind of like forgetting about it. Like Tom Brady is probably going to, especially in the first round or when they need his input on certain things, I think he's going to have a voice in that room too as well. But it's hard to tell, man. It's Spytek's first time crack at it as a GM. I know he was assistant GM for Tampa Bay, I believe. He was assistant GM at least. But let's move along to what's real, what's not. Let's see here. Like I said earlier, this is where we say a statement. Y'all react if it's real or it's not. Let's go ahead and get to the first what's real, what's not statement. Let's see here. Yeah, man, appreciate everybody watching, man, and coming through, man, and supporting the show. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You about to say something?
No, as I said, you found it?
Yep. So the first what's real, what's not statement. Jalen Milroe will be a first-round pick. Jalen Milroe will be a first-round pick. Is that real or is it not? Let us know in the chat. Jalen Milroe will be a first-round pick. Is that real or is it not? He was invited to New York. I think that's or Green Bay. I think Green Bay, right? That's where the
Green Bay. Yeah. Green Bay. Yeah.
Damn, that's so random. I know they be. Yeah. It's so random, but yeah, he's invited as one of the few NFL prospects that's going there. He feels good about his chances to get picked in the first round, man, because no one wants to go there and get embarrassed and not get picked and having to wait and have the camera on their face to see the reaction, them dropping. But I don't believe he's going in the first round. I gotta believe it to see it, but like I said, he feels good about his chances that he accepted the offer for him to come out to the draft. So I'm gonna say that's not real though. Not real. I wouldn't take him no earlier than the 3rd round. And I know you're more like 4th, but maybe 5th.
Yeah. Yeah. Depends on what we do earlier in the draft. Yeah, even then, though, 3rd, yeah, I don't know about 3rd, but yeah, I don't think it's real either. I think it's gonna be a Will Levis situation. We saw what happened to Will Levis. He was waiting in the green room, thinking he was gonna get picked up, and it never happened for him. So I think some team will fall in love with him, with his character and his traits, and they'll trade up to the top of the 2nd. But I don't think anybody's gonna take him in the 1st round.
I agree, man. I agree. Super Omicron says Jalen Milroe, maybe not real. Depends on how desperate Cleveland is falling the 2nd round. Well, that's not. See, that's the thing though. Like, we're saying 1st round.
Yeah.
The statement is he'll be drafted in the 1st round, and he accepted an offer to go to the draft, to be on TV, be on camera, because he feels good that he's going to be drafted in the 1st round while the cameras are on him. He feels good about his chances. I'm saying that it's not real. Severe, I think, is he agrees with it too. But then also it's like what has us thinking a little bit is like, damn, like he felt good enough to go to the draft, knowing that he can possibly slip and it could be all bad. But maybe it's just I don't know. Let us know, man. Let us know in the chat if it's real or not. More than one team will fall in love. Jackson, let's see. So Pittsburgh will be the 1st round, even with Mason Rudolph as their QB. Hey, you know what? Fields went to the Jets. Russell Wilson went to the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see them taking I could see them taking a running back, but damn, that would be crazy if they took Milroe in the 1st round.
That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Especially in a running back too. They lost Najee. But that's why they're kind of, that's why Derek Carr. But look, that was Freudian slip. That's why Aaron Rodgers has them in a holding pattern. But that could be a trade destination for Derek Carr. I don't know how he'll hold up, in that locker room, that environment. Those dudes pride themselves on being tough and accountable and all that stuff. So, I don't know how well Carr will fit in with that culture. But the same thing with Aaron. I don't know how well Aaron fits in with that culture either. So.
Yeah, Carr got to figure out his situation right now, man. Cold weather Carr too.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, space beast. Facts. Yeah. Because he had it perfect, bro. He had it. Think about. He had it perfect in New Orleans, man. He had
and the Raiders too.
He had but he's not even with the Raiders. We say he has like all these. We didn't build a roster around him, and his team is always in rebuild mode. But the Saints were in the NFC South, which is a weak division. He had Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed.
He picked the team. That's the team that he picked.
Taysom Hill. He had a coach in Dennis Allen who he had familiarity with. He had a defense that already had some defensive leaders over there. Marshawn Lattimore at the time, Cam Jordan. Like he had it made. And with all that, he still couldn't get it done, bro.
Torque says, I think 4 QBs go round 1, not named Shedeur Sanders. He says Ward, Shook, Dart, Milroe. That's hot.
Sanders going round 1, bro. Sanders going round 1. I can see all of those guys. I don't think Milroe's going round 1 though. I can see 4 take out Milroe for Sanders.
Tyler Shook too.
I can see Tyler Shook. Tyler Shook he's my QB4. I can see that happening. I can see it happening. Especially if Ward and Sanders go early though.
It's hard time to be past it, man. Yeah, probably.
Man. He already is though. That's the thing. It's not like he already does it.
Saints playing first season was bad. Yeah, man, it was. Yeah, it's all bad, man. But yeah, like I said, the Raiders obviously got their own. They don't have Derek Carr to worry about. So the only positive to come out of the whole Derek Carr situation with the Saints is the fact that like we could possibly trade down with them, possibly,
yeah.
Right.
Wouldn't that be something? That would be so poetic. That would be so poetic because Derek Carr. That's why people talk about this nonsense about Derek Carr. He his integrity wouldn't allow him to lie about a shoulder injury and all that stuff. Remember when the Raiders were trying to trade Derek Carr and we were trying to work out a deal, and Derek Carr had a no trade clause. And we were trying to work out a deal with the Saints, and then he wouldn't allow that deal to go through. And then after we released him, he went and signed with the Saints. And he was like, "Oh, well, it's because the Raiders wouldn't allow me to talk to the Saints. So how was I to like? Come on, bro. That's all I know. So it would be poetic justice if that they need a quarterback and they have to trade up with us. They have to give us some of the draft compensation that we should have gotten in that Derek Carr trade."
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's karma, I guess, for DC, but we'll see, man. Yeah, that was a good point though by Space Beast. Cold weather Carr like that. I was looking at Pittsburgh. I'm like, oh yeah, that might, maybe that could be a good spot for him. Like, they're gonna run the football, play defense. He just gotta manage the game. They're not gonna ask him to do too much.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, Carr, like, I don't know what world he's living in. Like, why wouldn't a team that you go to, why wouldn't they get a young guy in the building? Like, what are you? Because that's essentially what the Saints are doing. They're like, you know what? We're going to get a young guy in the building. Like, if you play your best ball, you play great ball, like, I don't think you're going to lose your job. And if you lose your job, if they decide to go young, then you go to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, maybe I'm just looking at it from the outside looking in. So, but I feel like DC's kind of, I think DC's just taking it the wrong way. And I think that possibly could be the reason why the Raiders and John Gruden probably didn't get a young QB, because they felt like how sensitive he was. Like, he's not, I don't know, maybe mentally tough enough to deal with a situation like that. Because all those years with John Gruden, what do we hear? Like, oh, Gruden is going to get looking at this quarterback, or this is the year that, but he never did it. He never pulled the trigger. He never did it. But, it is what it is. East Coast round one. Okay, Daniel Kim has his mock. He says Banks, Mac, Tedero, or he liked the offensive lineman. Is it the offensive lineman? Round one, Banks. Round two, Barron.
I don't think either one of those guys would be around round two, though.
Siobhan Revel?
Maybe if teams are scared off by the injury. I think Barron going to be a first round pick. Some people are saying he's CB1.
No, Sade?
Yeah, Jade? Yeah.
Or Jade? Yeah.
Yeah. Some people say he's QB1. So I don't think he'll be around round two. If he is around round two, immediately.
I think people are mocking. I've seen a mock draft where people are mocking Barron at number 6 to the Raiders.
Yeah, he's going. Some people have him at CB1. So we get him in round 2. That's amazing. I mean, like, you never know with this draft, right? You never know with this draft stuff. But
is Buchanan going to go as early as third round? Do you see Buchanan?
I like Buchanan. I like Buchanan. I think that's kind of early. Maybe a fourth is where I start looking at him. But I like Buchanan though. Buchanan.
Running back all that. Like, I can get with offensive line in the first. In the second they go corner, and then the third they go running back. That's.
I think that's smooth. That's smooth.
That's smart. That's smart right there.
That's smooth.
Hey, nah, man, you good, bro. You good. Nah, that's pretty smooth. Nah, hey man, make sure to tune in this Thursday.
Except Barron, Daniel. Barron. Everything else was smooth except Barron.
Yeah.
But I don't think Barron gonna be there. Revel, I could see being there because people were scared off by the age and the injury. I could see them being there, but I think Barron probably not.
Omicron says Kelvin Banks, Siobhan Revel, and Caleb Johnson. Is that your first, second, and third?
He had me till he said Caleb Johnson. You had me till I was right there with you, brother. Until you said Caleb Johnson, I was like, yeah, man.
I think Caleb probably goes in the second. But
I just don't like him. I just don't think he's good. I take Damian Martinez for a take.
I feel like he's a really good like outside zone running back. It's just I had to, Leo. You know what I mean? I had to bring it out. But to be fair, I brought it out before the show, so I didn't just pull it out like mid-show, like after the Warriors.
I got you know what I mean. I'll throw on the purple and gold. When the real playoffs start. Not the play in.
Okay. Didn't the Warriors beat the Lakers the last time they played? I believe they did. They did. I think they did. LeBron was looking really old. He was just holding, like grabbing players and calling for fouls and stuff like that.
Not in the playoffs. I don't believe that happened in the playoffs.
We'll see.
I think the last few times you guys been to the playoffs, the Lakers put y'all out. I want to say.
Did y'all win a championship them years? I don't know.
Did y'all? Y'all obviously not, because y'all was home watching.
Okay, so nobody think Jaylen Ramsey real as legitimate. So nobody think Jaylen Ramsey is real as legitimate.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think. I think he wants to go to a contender, and I don't know if that we fit the bill there. But he did always say he wanted to go to Vegas. No state income tax. I remember him saying that clearly. Before he got traded to Miami, or before he went to the Rams. He said that when he was with Jacksonville. So I don't know if he still has the same sentiment. He does have a ring already, technically. So, we'll see.
And plus, you got to think about the trade compensation. Like, what are they going to be asking for? If they're asking for like anything, if they're asking for a 3rd round pick, 2nd round pick, 1st round pick, if they're asking to trade spots from 13 to 6. And no, we're not doing that. So, just to be honest with you, it's the pass for me. But that's just me. I'm not the Raiders GM. Spytek's gonna be doing that, but I don't think Spytek is gonna do that. So, it is what it is. Damian Martinez is a guy I like too. I see him going in like the 3rd, maybe 4th.
Yeah, I like Damian Martinez. I like him better than Caleb Johnson for sure.
Physical running back for sure. Super physical running back. I would love to pair him up with perfect Thunder to maybe a Henderson Lightning or what's the guy from Texas? Jadon Blue.
I like Jadon Blue. Yeah, I like
Jadon Blue, man, like super fast, but
people like Bashir Tootin too. He just fumbles too much, bro.
But I think Martinez might go in the 3rd, though. I think Martinez might go in the 3rd.
He's a dog. He's a dog, and he carried the load at Oregon State too before he went to Miami.
I guess that's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue to the last what's real, what's not statement.
Yeah,
it's Severe. If you want to pull that up.
Yes, sir. The last what's real, what's not statement is the Raiders will not draft a running back until the 3rd round. The Raiders will not draft a running back until the 3rd round. So that means not in the 1st, not in the 2nd, not until the 3rd.
I'm kind of leaning towards that. At first, I was like, man, the Raiders got to draft a running back in the 2nd. I feel like they got so many options. They can get their pick of the litter. But then I'm like, man, that's kind of risking it because there are a lot of good corners that are going to be available in the 2nd. I feel like, who knows? I mean, how the draft goes, but it feels like doing all these mocks, there's a lot of value grabbing this corner. So I'm like, the third round is really the sweet spot for the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that's real.
I am. Don't put that into the universe, Torque. You don't wish that upon me. I'm biased, so I'm going to say it's not real. Definitely not for no running back at 6.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys already know I've been talking about Travion forever. I don't know if I was the first one to talk about him on Raiders YouTube. I don't want to take that credit. I talked about Jackson Dart before anybody was talking about him on Raiders YouTube. I don't want to take that credit either. I was talking about him months ago. Now everybody Travion and Jackson Dart. It's cool. It's cool. Nobody gonna give Severe his shout out for that, but it's all good. I don't need the love. But Travion is a second round pick. So obviously, if he's there in the second round, I would hope that we didn't take a guy in the first and we were able to take him in the second. So I'm gonna hope that it's not real, but we shall see.
Turk says shit about to be false 20 minutes into the draft.
Yeah, nah, bro. Do not put that out there, bro. I wouldn't watch the rest of the draft, bro. I'm going off the. I'm not watching it, bro. I'm not watching the rest of it. I'm cool.
So hold
I'm
on.
like, all right, man.
So you don't feel like Genty is a generational running back? You said that earlier.
No, hell no. It's not generational. No, it's not generational.
Wow.
Not generational. I think he's a very talented running back. I know I have him as RB1, but he's not generational, not in my opinion. You can't be slow. Like when you're generational, bro, you gotta like Saquon's generational. Saquon, like Genty is smallish, it's not fast. Like his best traits are his contact balance and his vision.
Okay, because you feel like he ran a 4.5. He's not generational.
Easy. Yeah, if you be generational, bro, you got to be like 4, Saquon is generational. Saquon is generational. Saquon is 6 feet, 230, ran a 4.3, jumped 41 inches, benched 225 29 times, can catch the ball, can block. Like that's generational, and didn't have any off the field issues. Right? He has the measurables, he has the speed, he has the work ethic, he has all of that. That's generational. Genty is a very good player. He's not generational.
I don't know, man. It's tempting, man. It's tempting. Leo, think if pass on Genty second round, depending when they start falling off the board. Nah, the second, I'm with y'all, man. Some of y'all that's saying the second is where I would look. It's just, what about corner? You want to risk not taking a corner that's most likely going to be on the board, or corners that are going to be on the board? You're going to have your options at in the second round. You're going to wait till the third to risk that? Yeah. Genty's not generational.
Yeah, he's not. I like Genty. Genty's a very good player. I want to think. That's why people think I criticize people like, oh man, Severe think Genty, but like, nah, bro. I think Genty's a good player. He's not generational, man. Like Saquon is generational. If Josh if Josh ran a 4.3, Josh Jacobs would have been generational. But he ran a 4.6, so
we had this conversation, man. I say he looks like 4.5. He didn't get caught from behind a lot in college. He had a lot of big plays, taking it to the house.
In the Mountain West Conference.
He did it. He did it against some good teams that were pretty fast. They're known for their team speed.
He did it against Oregon. I think he had one little touchdown.
If he's running away from DBs for the most part, they're gonna be one of the fastest players on the team, if not the fastest. And if he's running away from him and scoring a touchdown, so I'm gonna say 4.5. I don't think he's 4.4. I don't think he's 4.3. I don't think he's 4.6. I think he's 4.5.
High 4.5, low 4.6. He's high 4.5, low 4.6. He's like 4.58. Anywhere between 4.57 and 4.61.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. Because I'm trying to think of the great running backs. Because I don't think all the great running backs ran a a 4-3, 4-4.
Emmett was probably, but I wouldn't say Emmett, but like there's a difference between generational prospect and then a player that turns out to be a great player. Like nobody would have said Aaron Donald because of his height. Nobody would have said Aaron Donald was generational as a prospect.
What did Nick Chubb run? I saw someone. What did Nick Chubb run?
I don't know. Like Emmett probably didn't run fast. Emmett was probably like a 4-5 guy.
Yeah, but Emmett is like, let's see, Nick Chubb.
Yeah. Barry was generational. Yeah, Adrian Peterson is generational. Only thing about Adrian Peterson is that he had some injuries, so that was the only thing that kind of like people were like okay. But other than that, bro, yeah, that too was.
Well, Nick Chubb ran a 4.52.
How big is Nick Chubb? Nick Chubb is not that big, right?
Nah, he's like at least like 6.
Like 5'10". Is he that tall? Is he 6 feet tall? I thought Nick Chubb was like 5'10".
He's close to it. He's not like as small as Genty.
He's not as small as Genty, but I thought he was like 5'10" in that range.
Wait. 5'11", 227.
I was like 5. So okay, so yeah, between 5'10" and 6 feet. So yeah, we were in that right range. So yeah, bigger than Genty. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, look, I think Genty's gonna be a good player.
Marshawn, what did Marshawn run?
Run fast, bro. Marshawn ran fast.
Marshawn was like, damn.
Marshawn ran fast, bro. Marshawn probably 4.4, maybe faster. Legit. I was surprised how Marshawn ran as fast as he did.
No, he showed it. He showed it at Cal, though. He showed it at Cal.
Yeah.
But like in his NFL career, like he was such a physical running back. Like you forgot that he could actually, like, he could break some long runs.
Yeah.
4.46.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn. Hey, that's gonna be interesting. Whoever takes Ashton Genty, how that's gonna look like. But hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in. At this point, clock out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. It's been a great show, man. As usual, we went a little bit longer than expected, but we appreciate everybody coming through and supporting the show. Severe. Let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
You guys know what it is, man. This Severe Raider here on YouTube, on IG, on Snapchat, X, TikTok, all that good stuff. Rocking out with my guy PharoahNFL until 3 o'clock in the morning East Coast, 12 midnight on the West. I know what it is. Y'all get out the club, man. Y'all know we watch the 50-50 show. That's just what it is. Usually and we got Around the Shield on Thursdays as well. Usually we rock out on Tuesday afternoons with my guys. My guys 805 and Chris. We pushing it later in the week this week. So either tomorrow or like early afternoon on Thursdays, and then we coming at you guys on Sundays as well, man. So make sure y'all tap in, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. If y'all like what y'all saw today, make sure y'all share it with somebody. If y'all enjoy watching me and Pharaoh argue, y'all know what to do, man. Make sure y'all share it with somebody. Shout out to 401 Raider Jeff. That's New England. The New England booster.
Oh, he changed the name. He changed the name.
He switched it up, man. He got that disgusting New England outfit. Not messing with you. He's a New England guy. Yeah. Make sure y'all support Jeff too, man. Jeff be having some marathon lives. Also Leo and Jay Raider in the chat as well. So man, make sure you support those guys as well. They doing some good work over here too.
Yes, sir, man. Like Severe said, man, we'll be back here this Thursday around the Shield. Make sure to tune in. It's going to be one of our last few mock drafts. We might have one right before, like the last one, but this one is me and Severe are going to have our own separate mock drafts. We're gonna do 7 rounds. We've kind of been doing like a round, like we've been adding a round each week, but then we noticed that the draft is pretty much here, so we're just going to go ahead and just pull out a 7-round mock draft on Thursday. Also, hopefully we'll be able to get a guest on this week too, so make sure to tune in for that. Make sure to give us a follow on Around the Shield on X and on IG for the latest Raider news, memes, all that good stuff. Give us a follow there if you haven't already. And yeah, man, hey, we appreciate the support. We appreciate everybody coming through. Hey, man, the chat was going in today, man. So y'all are having me cracking up. AJ Simpson says, Genty runs like a little kid that stole something. Man, that's funny, man. Oh, funny, man. Yeah, man. Hey, man, it's a great show. Great conversation with me, Severe, as usual. We'll be back here soon.
He said a lot of those guys missing tackles are driving UPS trucks. Facts.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see how it looks
working
like
at Avis. They working at Avis.
Man, we out of here, man. We appreciate everybody coming through, but hey, man, it's getting late. Let's get up out of here, man. Oh, man, I'm tired, man. Hey, man, the Warriors won. Lakers, they're probably gonna lose. I don't know. I ain't got. Be honest with you, I don't even hate the Lakers. It's just.
I know. What are you talking about? You a Laker fan, right?
I do grow up Laker fan and a Warrior fan, but you know it is what it is, man. I just be talking smack. All right, y'all. We out of here, man. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.